Chapter 767. Oh no! Su-yun cursed in his heart and rushed out of the room. Muto Ichiro had actually chosen to escape. This was definitely not something a profound world realm expert would do. Even if his Heizhong unit was completely destroyed, a profound world realm expert would not need to be afraid of Su-yun. After all, Su-yun and CFAIs had both reached the Grandmaster realm. The other experts who had not reached the Grandmaster realm were nothing in front of a profound world realm expert. There was only one possibility, and that was that Muto Ichiro was not a profound world realm expert at all. Su-yun suddenly realized that it was too late for him to realize this. From the beginning of the fight, he should have sensed that Muto Ichiro had not shown the overwhelming strength of a profound world realm expert at all. There was definitely something fishy about this. But it was too late for Su-yun to realize this. If he and CFAIs had seen through Muto Ichiro earlier, they would not have had to worry about fighting a profound world realm expert. If they had fought with their lives on the line, they might have taken down Muto Ichiro as well. Damn it! When Su-yun rushed to the deck, Muto Ichiro was long gone. Su-yun rushed to the side of the ship. At this time, CFAIs and Lin Gu also rushed out with the others. Where is Muto Ichiro? Although Wu Yuandong was also injured, he only had one thought in his mind, and that was to take down Muto Ichiro and completely eliminate the future threat of the Three Lotus Association and Baoyu Group. Let him go to hell. Su-yun punched the wall of the ship. Su-yun had to vent his anger at Muto Ichiro's escape. This was the only way he could punish himself for his mistake. Muto Ichiro's escape was definitely the biggest failure of the night for them. Although they had destroyed the Heizhong unit today, as long as Muto Ichiro was alive, Dongying would definitely establish a second Heizhong unit. Did he run away? Di Zihong's eyes widened as he rushed to the side of the boat. However, in the darkness, all he could see on the surface of the sea was pitch black. Other than a few faintly discernible shark fins, there was no trace of anything at all. Muto Ichiro couldn't have evaporated into thin air, right? Zhou Yeming also nodded. Unless Doraemon is his good friend and gave him a teleportation gate, he can't just disappear into thin air. Long Lianghui looked at Zhou Yeming with displeasure. Now is not the time for jokes. If Muto Ichiro escapes, then our mission will not be considered complete. It's useless for you to glare at my brother, Zhou Meiyan said. Just now, everyone was busy dealing with the dangers around them. Be it Su-yun or CFAIs, none of us were idle. No one knew that Muto Ichiro would use a human wave tactic at the last moment. If it wasn't for the fact that 9 ghosts lost 5 of his men, the ones lying in the cabin would be us. Alright, let's not talk about it anymore. Su-yun said. Things have already come to this point. There's no point in saying anything more. Wu Yuandong looked at the surface of the sea with a disappointed expression. Unless he jumped down. Obviously, the only way out for him is to jump down. Lin Gu said indifferently. We all know very well that people can't just disappear into thin air. Either Muto Ichiro is still on this boat, or he has already jumped into the sea. There are only these 2 possibilities. Since Muto Ichiro chose to escape from the battle between Su-yun and CFAIs, then there was absolutely no possibility that he would stay on the deck and wait for everyone to surround him. He won't stay on the deck, Cho Yun said. But if he jumped down, wouldn't he be feeding the sharks? Little Dong Bei couldn't help but shudder. When he thought of the tiger shark's sharp teeth, he felt his hair stand on end. He was the one who provoked the shark. He must know how vicious it is. He can't be that stupid, right? Cho Yun glanced at little Dong Bei. No matter how vicious the tiger shark is, it's not as vicious as us. Because he has a way to attract the tiger shark, then he must also have a way to drive the tiger shark away. The thing that CFAIs gave us in the shark repelling pouch, I'm afraid that Muto Ichiro also has it. This possibility is very high. CFAIs nodded. In fact, when Su-yun punched the wall of the boat just now, he knew that Su-yun was certain that Muto Ichiro had jumped into the sea to escape. Maybe he really chose to jump into the sea because he had no other choice. Maybe he has already been eaten by the shark. Wang Zei's words were not comforting at all. If he was alive, they needed to see the person. If he was dead, they needed to see the corpse. If the person couldn't be seen, then the corpse couldn't be seen. Di Zihong reached out and touched the shark-repelling pouch in his pocket. He said firmly, even if he was eaten by the shark, there must be some remnants. If we can't confirm Muto Ichiro's death today, I won't go back. After saying that, Di Zihong actually wanted to jump into the sea to find the answer. Give up. Su Yun said, Hallmaster D, Muto Ichiro is definitely not dead. The sea is indeed his only choice to escape. However, I believe that even if he doesn't have the shark-repelling pouch, I believe that a few sharks won't be a problem for him. Di Zihong was stunned. What makes you think so? Su Yun took out the shark-repelling pouch and threw it to Di Zihong. Without saying anything else, he turned around and jumped into the sea. His sudden action instantly made everyone break out in a cold sweat. The tiger shark, which had been hungry for a few days, had already gone crazy. As soon as Su Yun jumped into the water, 3 tiger sharks quickly surrounded him. Before the people on the boat could figure out what was going on, a huge tiger shark was hit in the head by Su Yun's heavy artillery. Its huge body flew into the air and smashed heavily into the water, creating a huge splash. Su Yun used his actions to prove that even without the shark-repelling pouch, he still had the ability to escape the siege of these tiger sharks. Not to mention Muto Ichiro, who was much stronger than him. Seeing that Su Yun had proven himself, Zhuo Meiyan shouted for Su Yun to get on the boat. She stepped forward and snatched Su Yun's shark-repelling pouch from Di Zihong's hand. She said coldly, Su Yun has done enough for you. It's not Muto Ichiro's fault that he escaped. You'd better not go too far. This has nothing to do with Hall Master D. They don't mean to blame me either. After Su Yun returned to the deck, he took the shark-repelling pouch from Zhuo Meiyan and said lightly, I just wanted to prove to everyone that no one should be so lucky as to think that Muto Ichiro is dead. I'm sure that these sharks won't be a problem for him. Besides, I've proven myself just now. Su Yun's actions made Di Zihong lower his head deeply. He knew that Su Yun had done enough for the Three Lotus Association and the bodyguard group. Muto Ichiro's escape was not something Su Yun could have controlled. Brother Su Yun. No, Honorary President, I lost control of my emotions just now. I'm really sorry. You're treating me like an outsider. Su Yun shook his head. Muto Ichiro has escaped, so our mission can't be considered a success. However, we've eliminated the infamous Hei Zhong unit. We've done our best and we have no regrets. Even if Muto Ichiro makes it back to Japan alive, there will be no more Hei Zhong unit in Japan. Xie Fei eyes nodded. That's right. The Hei Zhong unit has been completely wiped out. Muto Ichiro is the only one left. Even if he makes it back, those bastards in the Japanese cabinet will not give him a good ending. Japan's democracy has made their leaders responsible. If I'm right, even if Muto Ichiro makes it back to Japan, the Hei Zhong unit will still be in Japan. Based on the fact that the Hei Zhong unit was completely wiped out in international waters, he has every reason to kneel in front of the emperor and beg for forgiveness. So, Muto Ichiro can't escape death. Wu Yuandong seemed to see hope again. Maybe. Xie Fei eyes nodded. I can only hope so. Su Yun expressed his support for Xie Fei Ai's opinion, but he also voiced his own opinion. If Muto Ichiro chooses to return to Japan, he will definitely have to beg for forgiveness. But I'm worried that he won't return to Japan because of this. After all, he's not a pure Japanese. He doesn't have the idiotic bloodline of the Bushido. Lin Gu frowned. Brother, are you worried that Muto Ichiro won't return to Japan after being severely injured? He'll die if he goes back. Even if he ends up in another country, it's still better than going back and dying. That's not impossible. Su Yun's words make sense. Xie Fei said, as for whether he'll go back and die, we just have to pay attention to the news in Tokyo these few days. If the Japanese cabinet really wants Muto Ichiro to die, they'll give him the title of an outstanding soldier. After all, in the eyes of the Japanese, Muto Ichiro is different from in the eyes of the rest of the world. In the eyes of the rest of the world, he is the leader of the infamous Kurozuka unit, but in the eyes of the Japanese, he is the leader of their best special self-defense force. Because Japan was defeated in the war, they are not allowed to have troops, so they call their troops the self-defense force. Su Yun nodded. 3 days at most. If there's no news of Muto Ichiro's death in 3 days, it's very likely that Muto Ichiro didn't return to Japan at all. At that time, we'll have to be 120% careful. It's too easy for him to commit seppuku. Lin Gu smiled. Although I really want to kill him myself, now that I think about it, I'd rather he commit seppuku himself than let him live and cause trouble for us. Su Yun patted Lin Ji's shoulder. We'll deal with it as it comes. No matter what happens, we'll solve it. In that case, let's say goodbye here, CFAI suddenly said. Follow the original direction and swim back to the speedboat. Then, return to Taiwan Island. If the speedboat doesn't have enough fuel, the pigeons know where the spare fuel barrels are. I won't go back with you. I have to rush back to report to the old man. Also, after you leave, I have to think of a way to burn this boat. President Lin is still in danger. He needs you to go back as soon as possible. Leave the destruction of the boat to me. You don't have to waste time here. Su Yun was stunned. But, if we leave first, how are you going to go back? There must be a single-person boat on this boat. I can handle it alone, CFAI said. But I have to burn this boat first. Leaving this piece of trash on the high seas will only be a waste of space. It's better to sink and give the small fishes a place to hide. Su Yun nodded. All right, I'll have to trouble you with the rest. You have to be careful. Brother, you're underestimating Brother Zay. Lin Gu said, no matter what, we're all children who grew up in the Caribbean Sea. If we can't even handle such a small matter at sea, it'll be too embarrassing. Wu Yuandong knew that CFAIs wanted to leave, so he brought Long Lianghui and Di Zihong to say goodbye. Thank you. It's all thanks to your help this time. Chapter 768. Right now, Lin Sihai's situation in Taiwan was still unclear, so Su Yun couldn't afford to waste time. He believed that even without CFAI's help, with so many of them facing Lang Chen, the heavily injured Lang Chen wouldn't dare to act rashly. Right now, time was their biggest opponent. After bidding farewell to CFAIs, Su Yun asked Lin Gu to lead the team while he stayed at the back and swam back to the speedboat. In this race against time, Wu Yuandong and the other members of the Three Lotus Society were giving it their all. Lin Sihai's importance to them was self-evident. Of course, Lin Sihai was also special to Su Yun because he was not only the president of the Three Lotus Society, but also the leader of the bodyguard team. To the people of Huaxia, Lin Sihai and the other members of the Huaxia people were revered as warriors. In order to protect their homeland from theft, they had sacrificed not only their energy, but also their lives. Just this point alone was enough for Su Yun to respect him greatly. Just as everyone swam back to the speedboat, an earth-shattering explosion came from behind them. Muto Ichiro's ship, which was used as a base, erupted into flames. The huge explosion created huge waves on the surface of the sea. Su Yun smiled faintly. CFAI's was quite nimble in his work. He probably went straight to the ship's fuel storage. This explosion was not a small one. Lin Gu also slowed down and turned around. The rest of the team stopped as well. The explosion of the cruise ship would definitely turn the infamous Hei Tsuka unit into ashes. Even their bones would be eaten by the fishes. It seemed that this was the only punishment that could satisfy the people and relieve the hatred in their hearts. Wu Yuandong roared excitedly and pounded his fists on the water surface, venting the anger and resentment that had been suppressed for a long time. For him, the pressure that he had endured for so long, the crimes that the Japanese and Jifeng had put on him were finally released in an instant. From today onwards, Japan no longer had the Kurozuka unit. The world no longer had this group of scum who destroyed the evidence of history. This was not only the best answer for Wu Yuandong, but also the best ending for the Baoyu Group and the Three Lotus Club. It was also the best gospel for Huaxia and all the countries that had been invaded by the Japanese. They did what all the righteous people in the world wanted to do but had no way to do it. This sense of accomplishment was indescribable. The world's dirtiest, most despicable troops had no power to save the day. For CFAIs, he had finally fulfilled his mission. All the hatred that He Zhong's troops had brought upon him was now with his sunken ship, sinking to the bottom of the sea. And it would be forever. After swimming back to the speedboat, Su Yun asked everyone to wipe off the water on their bodies and go to the cabin to rest in order to recover their strength. He and Lin Guo filled the speedboat with spare fuel as fast as possible and immediately set off to return to Taiwan. Now, there was only one hope in everyone's hearts. They hoped that there was still enough time and that they would not be too late. Although it was tiring to travel through the night, Su Yun and Wu Yuandong did not feel the slightest bit sleepy. When the speedboat docked at Taiwan's pier again, everyone got off the boat and quickly rushed to the house where Lin Sihai and Lang Chen had met. Along the way, Wu Yuandong called Lin Sihai 3 times but no one picked up. The ominous feeling in his heart made Wu Yuandong lose control of his emotions. "Brother Dong, the president is a good man. I believe that nothing will happen to him." Su Yun's comforting words were weak and feeble. The saying, "Good people don't live long, but scourges live for 1,000 years, lingered in everyone's minds from time to time. Originally, Muto Ichiro's escape had already caused a flaw in the perfect mission. If anything happened to Lin Sihai, even if they succeeded, they would feel that the gains did not make up for the losses. Wu Yuandong drove everyone to Lin Sihai's secret house in Taiwan as quickly as possible. In the courtyard, Lin Sihai's car was parked quietly, which more or less gave everyone a reassurance. Wu Yuandong could finally put down the big stone that had been hanging in his heart. "President!" Di Zihong was the first to rush to the door and knock. "President, we're back. We did it." However, after Di Zihong knocked on the door, there was no response from the room. This made everyone, who had just relaxed, instantly freeze at the door. The haze that covered the sky made everyone not dare to imagine what had happened. Di Zihong was stunned at the door, and his finger that was knocking on the door froze in mid-air. Wu Yuandong and Long Lianghui felt a chill in their hearts. These iron-blooded men who had never been afraid of anything were actually stunned at this moment. The fear in their hearts made them not dare to open the door to confirm what had happened. Lin Guo and Zhua Meiyan did not speak, but everyone already had their own answer in their hearts. Maybe, the president went out. Di Zihong put down his stiff finger that was suspended in mid-air. "Why don't we wait here and see?" Everyone did not speak. Sometimes, escaping from reality did not need to be discussed. Even if everyone knew that escaping from reality was not feasible and that escaping from reality was meaningless. However, at this moment, they all silently agreed with the choice. Su Yun, the only one who was still clear-headed, understood everyone's feelings, but now was not the time for him to understand. Su Yun stepped forward and gestured for Di Zihong to move out of the way, but Di Zihong stood guard by the door, not moving even half a step. His red eyes met Su Yun's resolute gaze and said, "I said, the president has gone out. He might be back in a while. Let's wait, just wait for 10 minutes. Enough." Wu Yuandong angrily rebuked. "Get out of the way." Di Zihong looked at Wu Yuandong unwillingly. "Brother Dong, why not wait? Why give up?" "It's not me who has to give up." Wu Yuandong painfully said, "It's you. We all know that nothing is more important to the president than this. He can't leave here, he will persist until we come back. 1 day, 3 days, even 5 days, he will wait here. I know you don't have the courage to face it, neither do I. Let Su Yun prove it. None of us can do it." Di Zihong slowly moved away from the door, and Su Yun kicked the door. He did not hesitate at all. If he hesitated, the others would not be able to face it. Clang! The door was kicked open with a loud sound. Su Yun strode into the room, followed by Lin Guo. Although Lin Guo had not been Lin Sihai's godson for long, he recognized Lin Sihai as his godfather because of his admiration and respect for Lin Sihai. Lin Guo only hoped that Su Yun would not face the truth alone. After all, this kind of pressure was too great. There was no sign of damage in the room, but the smell of blood immediately drilled into the noses of Su Yun and Lin Gu. Su Yun followed the smell of blood to the reception room with a heavy heart. When he came to the door of the reception room and pushed it open, he closed his eyes deeply. Lin Sihai's actions in this life had a clear conscience, and a clear conscience in this society. He was a real indomitable Hua Xia man. Even if he could not escape the tragic end, his face still had a peaceful expression. His peace came from his trust in Su Yun. Before he left this world, he still believed that his sacrifice was worth it. Lin Sihai believed that his restraint of Lang Chen would buy enough time for Su Yun and the others to deal with He Zhong's troops and the biggest threat of the bodyguard team. Lin Sihai felt that it was worth it to do this at the last moment of his life. The glory of his life, the deeds he had done in this life, made him worthy of his father and ancestors. Lin Sihai's body had 9 penetrating wounds, none of which were fatal. His death was caused by excessive blood loss. Lang Chen did not give him a quick death. He wanted more information from Lin Sihai, so he used this method to torture him. But all this torture, the threat of death, and fear did not defeat Lin Sihai. He would rather bleed to the last drop of his blood than give Lang Chen any valuable information. He used his life to buy time for Su Yun and the others. He bought time for the bodyguard team to prosper. He bought time for everything they had done. His life was as glorious as the heavens. Who could compete with a man of steel? Chapter 769. In fact, when Su Yun and Wu Yuandong boarded the speedboat and decided to let Lin Sihai stay in Taiwan alone and face Lang Chen alone, they were prepared for the worst. This was also the reason why Su Yun did not promise anything to ensure Lin Sihai's safety, and why Wu Yuandong had been hesitating about this choice. In the end, they all made the right choice. The only unavoidable thing was the opponent's ruthlessness. Although Wu Yuandong had already prepared for the worst, after seeing Lin Sihai's current situation, he still could not accept the reality. The person he respected most in his life had died so tragically. He could not believe Lin Sihai's last mood. To be able to face the fear of the death god calmly, how much courage did it require? How much conviction did it require? Wu Yuandong did not know if he could hold on to the last moment if he were in Lin Sihai's shoes. What Lin Sihai had to do was not only this. He not only had to hold on to the last moment, but also forced himself to hold on for a longer time. The length of time he could hold on determined whether Su Yun and the others had enough time to complete the task on the high seas. The earlier Lin Sihai died, the earlier Lang Chen would return to the first ship in the high seas, which meant that Su Yun and the others would be in danger for one more minute. The more Wu Yuandong thought about it, the more upset he felt. He punched the wall crazily. He just hoped to numb his mental torture with this physical pain. He was under too much pressure. He did not know how to face Lin Suin, nor did he know how to face the brothers of the Three Lotus Association, nor did he know how to convey this matter to the other leaders of the bodyguard group. The extreme struggle and pain in his heart made Wu Yuandong vent his emotions on the wall even more crazily. His fist angrily smashed on the wall again and again. Even when the wall was stained with the blood of his fist, he still had no intention of stopping. Su Yun did not stop Wu Yuandong's crazy behavior. If it were him, he would do the same. If the things that had been suppressed in his heart could not be completely vented, it would become a burden for Wu Yuandong for the rest of his life. Su Yun would rather break his knuckles than leave an indelible shadow in Wu Yuandong's heart. Compared to the pressure that Wu Yuandong had to face from all sides, Su Yun appeared to be much more relaxed. He only needed to face Lin Suin, he only needed to explain to Lin Suin the occurrence and existence of this fact, to tell her that the inevitable and irreversible thing had already happened, and that no one could reverse the situation. The dead could not be brought back to life. When this was said to others, it seemed so easy. However, when faced with everything that was happening around them, no one could bear it. After all, Lin Sihai did not leave because of the inevitable causes of birth, old age, illness, and death, but because he chose to sacrifice himself. For a few hours, everyone was immersed in great pain. Wu Yuandong vented all his energy on the wall and sat on the ground, paralyzed. He finally accepted reality and looked helplessly at Su Yun. "Brother, what should I do? I need your help. I must avenge the president." Su Yun walked over to Wu Yuandong's side and sat down on the ground as well. "I promise you that I won't let Lang Chen get away scot-free. I'll bring him to you personally so that you can kill him in front of all the Three Lotus Society members. He's the real culprit behind the president's death. I will let you give the brothers of the Three Lotus Society the best explanation. I swear. In this life, other than the president, the person I trust the most is you." Wu Yuandong grabbed Su Yun's shoulder tightly. "I also swear, if you need me, even if I lose my life, I will give Lang Chen the punishment he deserves." "Trust me." Su Yun's eyes were resolute. "I will help you appease the young Mississippi. You only need to appease the brothers of the Three Lotus Society and find a way to tell the truth to the Guardian fishing team. Let those who have sacrificed silently for Turtle Island be mentally prepared. He Zhong's troops are over, they can use this time to rest." Wu Yuandong nodded. "I will. Then, I will leave the young miss to you." "Okay," Su Yun replied. "Actually, the young miss is quite pitiful. Although many people envy her, she has status, and money. She seems to have everything, but what she desires is the simplest. She doesn't want the empty status and unnecessary material conditions," Wu Yuandong said. "I have been in the Three Lotus Society for many years and know how much the president has sacrificed for the greater good. The young miss has never received any maternal love since she was young. The president, who seems to be by her side, has devoted all his time and energy to the Guardian fishing team and the Three Lotus Society. It can be said that even paternal love has become an extravagant hope for her." Su Yun nodded. He could tell. When he first came into contact with Lin Suin, he could tell that Lin Suin was willing to drive all the way from the north to the south just to eat a plate of oyster omelette on her birthday. She didn't care about that plate of oyster omelette at all. She just missed the fatherly and motherly love she had when she was young. Of course, the young miss is also stronger than any of us imagined. Wu Yuandong continued, "Although I don't know how she will accept this reality, I am certain that she will accept it all. I really don't want her to face it in so much pain. Brother, I can tell that the young miss feels differently about you. It has been different since the beginning. Now, the most important person to her is you. She will want to have you by her side when she is in the most pain." "I will," Su Yun promised. "I will help her get through this period. If she needs me, I can do anything for her." Wu Yuandong looked up at Su Yun. "Then take her away. Take her away from Taiwan temporarily. She has too many painful memories in this place. When I think of her facing those unbearable pain alone, I feel uneasy. I feel that I have let the president down. The president has sacrificed too much. I don't want him to sacrifice his daughter's happiness for the rest of her life. The only person I believe in is you. You can give the young miss the happiness she wants. Only you." Su Yun nodded and agreed to everything. This was what he could do and what he should do. Lin Sihai's death seemed to have covered the entire Taiwan with a layer of haze. The continuous cloudy and rainy weather seemed to be God's mourning for Lin Sihai. At the scene of the memorial service, hundreds of leaders of the Three Lotus Association and the Guard Fishing Group stood. The venue was densely packed with tens of thousands of people. Not only were there members of the Three Lotus Association and the Guard Fishing Group, there were also some people who came spontaneously. From this point alone, one could see Lin Sihai's position in the hearts of the people of Taiwan. On this day, not only were there more than a dozen Taiwan senators speaking, there were also leaders of various civil organizations participating in the speech. The leaders and members of the Guard Fishing Group all cried until their eyes turned red. Everyone in the Three Lotus Association clenched their teeth with tears in their eyes. They couldn't wait to tear the murderer into pieces. Black suits and white armbands filled the eyes. This was the largest memorial service in Taiwan in so many years. Everywhere were slogans with "President Lin, rest in peace" written on them. Lin Suin hadn't spoken for 3 days. She didn't eat or drink. Her delicate body stood in front of tens of thousands of people. Her hands trembled as she opened an envelope. Inside was her father's will. She still clearly remembered the last words her father said to her. "Suine, if I'm not here one day, can you take care of yourself? Ha ha ha, although I'm busy with the affairs of the association and the guard fishing group every day, the most important person in this world is you. I owe you. If there's an afterlife, I hope you can be my daughter. We can be ordinary people. I will take good care of you and make it up to you." At that time, Lin Suine didn't know what her father meant. She was worried about what Su Yun would do after he became gay. She only cared about the safety of Su Yun and didn't realize that her father was in greater danger. It was that night, before her father left, he gave her the envelope and told her, "When Su Yun and Wu Yuandong come back, you can open this envelope." Lin Suine obediently put the envelope in her drawer. She didn't expect that the envelope her father gave her contained his will. "I hereby appoint Su Yun as the president of the Three Lotus Society. All the hall masters and members of the Three Lotus Society must cooperate with him. If you have any questions, the vice president, Wu Yuandong, will explain it to you." Lin Suine read out her father's will. This was what her father asked her to announce at the memorial service. Lin Suine, who hadn't spoken for 3 days, finally opened her mouth. After the memorial service, her delicate body couldn't bear the immense pressure and physical exhaustion. She closed her eyes and fainted in the memorial service hall. Lin Suine felt like she had a very, very long dream. In her dream, she saw her mother returning to Taiwan and her father remarrying. The family of 3 enjoyed unparalleled happiness at home. Suddenly, one day, Wu Yuandong came to their house with Su Yun's marriage proposal and an engagement ceremony. Then, she saw Su Yun standing in front of her with a big diamond ring. She accepted Su Yun's proposal under the sweet smiles of her parents. Then, she saw a romantic wedding with a snow-white wedding dress and bright smiles on her parents' faces. She could protect her parents for the rest of her life and even have the company of the person she loved the most. Everything happened so suddenly that Lin Suine didn't dare to accept it. It was only at this moment that she came to a realization and opened her eyes. It was just a dream. Such a happy and sweet thing would forever be an extravagant hope for Lin Suine. The moment she woke up, Lin Suine realized that she was about to face a brand new beginning. A beginning that she didn't want to face in her entire life. Loneliness swallowed her up in an instant. Before she could see clearly who the people around her were and who were excitedly surrounding her because she had woken up, she blacked out again. Grief and pressure seemed to have completely crushed the beloved daughter of the Three Lotus Association. Everyone didn't place their hopes on the hospital's advanced equipment and the best doctors. Their hopes were placed on Su Yun, the new president that Lin Sihai had chosen. Lin Suine had been hospitalized for 4 whole days. She was completely dependent on injections of nutrients to maintain her life. Su Yun had also stayed in the hospital for 4 whole days. He understood President Lin's good intentions, but he also understood that the Three Lotus Association was managed by Wu Yuandong. He didn't need to worry at all. Chapter 770. Advanced medical technology and medical equipment were reliable. Lin Suine fell into a deep sleep again because of her own subconscious. She knew that when she woke up, she would have to face things that she didn't know how to face. The psychological state of self-abandonment led to her current unconscious state. However, this kind of awakening needed to come sooner. If this went on for a long time, even a healthy person could be forced into a vegetative state by themselves. After Lin Suine woke up that time, Su Yun knew that she needed to untie this knot in her heart, and only he could help her. Just as Wu Yuandong had said, if he couldn't stand up and bring Lin Suine out of the haze, Lin Sihai would not only pay with his own life, but also Lin Suine's life. Enough sacrifices had been made. Su Yun would never allow this kind of thing to happen again. Ever since Lin Sihai's memorial service ended, Wu Yuandong and the others had been busy dealing with the matters after Lin Sihai's death. Cho Yun's heart was no longer here. Su Yun knew that she was worried about Guagua, so he asked her to leave Taiwan early in the morning and rush back to Qingdao to find Tang Jiu. Going to Ruan Qingshuang and Guogua's side would make Chou Yun feel more at ease. Of course, Su Yun didn't ask little Dong Bei to stay behind. With him and Chou Yun returning to the mainland together, Su Yun would feel more at ease. After so many things had happened, he didn't want anyone to have any more mishaps. Putting aside the positive side of their success in this mission, after all, Muto Ichiro's whereabouts were unknown, and Lang Chen was still at large. He would definitely do everything he could to get what he wanted. Therefore, the trouble caused by Guogua's secret identity was still not completely eradicated. As for Zhua Meiyan and the others, although they were prepared to stay and help Su Yun knew that the current situation couldn't be solved with more people, so he asked them to return to Jibei. Zhua Meiyan was still worried and asked Su Yun to promise her that if there was anything he needed her to do, he must call her immediately. Su Yun naturally agreed. There was one more thing that Zhua Meiyan wanted Su Yun to promise her. She hoped that he could quickly deal with the Three Lotus Association. She told Su Yun that he needed to go back and prepare to take over Sky Entertainment, so he couldn't stay in Taiwan and be the leader of the Three Lotus Association. Wu Yuandong was more than capable of helping Lin Suyin take care of the Three Lotus Association. Su Yun agreed to Zhua Meiyan's requests. He knew that everything Zhua Meiyan did was to help him get rid of those unnecessary troubles as soon as possible and return to Northern Ji to do what he should do. Lin Guo was the only one who stayed in Taiwan to accompany Su Yun. Su Yun didn't let him go because he was Lin Sihai's godson. Before Lin Suyin woke up, Su Yun felt that Lin Gu needed to take responsibility for the Lin family. Wu Yuandong and the others weren't in a good state, so they needed Lin Gu to remind and help them. In the hospital, Su Yun sat by Lin Suyin's bed and gently placed Lin Suyin's slender fingers in his palm. He said to himself, "I promise you, as long as I'm alive, I won't let the real culprit go unpunished. No matter what the reason is, I will make Lang Chen pay the price for what he did." Lin Suyin quietly laid on the bed. Only silence and silence responded to Su Yun. "I promised the president that I would take good care of you, but you must be strong. Brother Dong told me that you're a strong girl. You're stronger than any of us can imagine." These days, Su Yun had said many similar things to Lin Suyin. He kept repeating these words in Lin Suyin's ears because he believed that Lin Suyin's subconscious would definitely feel his encouragement and support. She would wake up sooner or later. He would never allow Lin Suyin to lie in bed and become a brainless vegetable for the rest of her life. "I promised all the brothers of the Three Lotus Society that I would find the real culprit and seek justice for the president in front of all the brothers of the Three Lotus Society. He would not sacrifice his life in vain. Everything he did was witnessed by the heavens." Su Yun didn't feel annoyed by talking to himself for a long time. Every time he talked to Lin Suyin, he held on to hope. Finally, this time, Lin Suyin didn't disappoint him. The slight trembling of her fingers made Su Yun feel energized. He opened his eyes wide and looked at Lin Suyin as she slowly opened her eyes. He really wanted to find someone to share his joy with. Su Yun. Lin Suyin finally opened her mouth. Although her voice was extremely weak, it at least showed that she had regained hope and didn't give up on herself. "Is it you?" "It's me." Su Yun smiled. "It's good that you're awake. Do you know that your condition for so many days almost scared everyone to death?" "I'm sorry," Lin Suyin said calmly. "I know I shouldn't be like this. I'm sorry. I won't let everyone worry about me anymore. Su Yun, I believe that you can definitely kill the real culprit. I definitely won't be a burden to everyone anymore. From today onwards, the Miss Lin of the past will no longer exist. Father thought that handing the Three Lotus Society to you was the best choice. From today onwards, I will do my best to cooperate with you in everything you do in the Three Lotus Society." Su Yun didn't want to see such a Lin Suyin. She shouldn't have wasted her youth on these things. Speaking of which, President Lin really overestimated me by handing the Three Lotus Society to me. Compared to me, Brother Dong is more at home in the Three Lotus Society. With him handling it, I believe that the Three Lotus Society will get better and better. You don't need to do anything now. Just come back to the mainland with me and relax. Lin Suyin was stunned. If it was before, she would have been so excited by Su Yun's words that she wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But now, she really wasn't in the mood to relax. Su Yun, before finding the real culprit who killed my father, I won't leave Taiwan. If there's anything I need you to do, I won't stop you. I believe that guy will still make a move on the other members of the fishing team. As long as I'm still in Taiwan, I'll have a chance to catch him. I understand how you feel. I also want to find the president of the Cold Dust Gang and take revenge as soon as possible, but things aren't that simple. Su Yun said, Cold Dust made the decision to kill the president because he was on Muto Ichiro's boat. Now that Muto Ichiro can't even protect himself, Cold Dust has no reason to cooperate with him anymore. So, he won't touch anyone in the fishing team. After all, the members of the fishing team are his old friends. Old friends? Lin Suyin said, my father is also his old friend. Is this how that guy treats his old friends? Su Yun shook his head helplessly. Because that guy is no longer human. He's just a devil who will do anything to achieve his goal. Suyin, believe me, Cold Dust is definitely not in Taiwan. I know very well what his goal is. He's probably already somewhere on the mainland. There's nothing in Taiwan that he wants, and there's no value for him to use anymore. Lin Suyin frowned. If I go to the mainland with you, will I definitely be able to find the murderer? I don't dare to make any promises about whether I can find Cold Dust or not, but I can promise you that I'll give you an explanation. Even if I don't go to him, he'll definitely come to me. Su Yun said, I want to take you to the mainland to let you relax. I definitely don't want you to do anything dangerous. Promise me that you'll never think about revenge. That's completely beyond your ability. I'll take care of everything. You just need to have some patience, a little more patience than you have now. Lin Suyin finally nodded. I believe you. I'll listen to you. Su Yun finally let out a sigh of relief. Although this nutrient fluid can supplement your body's needs, you haven't eaten for a few days. Are you hungry? What do you want to eat? I'll call Lin Gu and ask him to bring it to you. It's best if you eat something light. Red braised pork is not suitable for you right now. There's a restaurant on Zhongxiao Road. They make Buddha jumps over the wall. It's my father's favorite when he was alive. Lin Suyin said faintly. Can I eat it now? Su Yun smiled helplessly. Then, he dialed Lin Ge's number. Where are you? Lin Gu really didn't have any free time during this period of time in Taiwan. There were a few times when he felt too tired. However, when he saw Wu Yuandong, Long Lianghui, and Di Zihong's hard-working faces, he immediately became motivated again. The Three Lotus Club was too big. There were too many industries involved and too complicated. It was definitely a test for Lin Gu. Moreover, Wu Yuandong wanted to train him. After all, he was Su Yun's right-hand man. Moreover, Su Yun was the successor that the president had chosen. I'm with Brother Dong. Brother, how's Sister Suyin? When Lin Gu asked, Wu Yuandong hurriedly put down what he was doing and walked over. Lin Suyin's situation was what they were most concerned about now. Tell Brother Dong that she's awake. Su Yun smiled. I need you to go to Zhongxiao Road to buy a serving of Buddha jumps over the wall, and some plain porridge. Your big sister Su Yin is still hungry. Hurry up. We'll wait for you at the hospital. When Lin Gu heard the news, he was overjoyed. Really? Okay. I'll go right away. That's great. After Su Yun hung up the phone, he chatted with Lin Suyin about some relaxing matters. Although Lin Suyin still needed some time to walk out of the haze of losing her father, she was still in a good state with Su Yun around. At least she wouldn't let her imagination run wild. About an hour later, Lin Gu and Wu Yuandong arrived at the hospital. They brought the food that Lin Suyin wanted to eat. Seeing that Lin Suyin's condition had improved, Wu Yuandong could finally put down the huge rock that was hanging in his heart. Now, he was just lamenting about one thing. Fortunately, Su Yun was here. Otherwise, he really didn't know what to do. Lin Ge tried his best to talk about some relaxing matters with Lin Suyin. Su Yun even personally fed Lin Suyin porridge. At least Lin Suyin's mood would be much better under such circumstances. As long as she didn't face loneliness alone, perhaps she wouldn't think too much about sad things. Chapter 771. After leaving the hospital and returning to the Lin family for 2 days, Lin Suyin had recovered quite well. After everything had returned to normal, Wu Yuandong decided to have a chat with Su Yun. Lin Ge was very good at reading situations. He would drag Lin Suyin to play games. After knowing that Lin Suyin liked to play LOL, Lin Ge specially researched it. With his brain, although he was a newbie, he was not afraid of any opponents. He would often lead Lin Suyin to achieve 10 or 20 consecutive victories. Of course, there would also be some idiotic teammates who would take the initiative to send themselves to their deaths. But regardless of whether they won or lost, at least most of Lin Suyin's attention was diverted. Even Su Yun, who knew nothing about games, participated in it. He cooperated with Lin Suyin and Lin Ge many times. Of course, Su Yun's role was to be a spy in the other team's camp. After Lin Suyin and Lin Ge entered the game, Su Yun and Wu Yuandong went downstairs to the living room. Su Yun went to the wine cabinet and took out a bottle of whiskey. He poured 2 glasses and sat with Wu Yuandong at the bar. The president has left us for almost 10 days. Although this reality is hard to accept, we have to slowly get used to it. Wu Yuandong raised his glass and clinked it with Su Yun's. He took a sip and asked, "Do you have any plans?" "Brother Dong, I know what you mean." Su Yun also took a sip. "You want me to take over the Three Lotus Association as soon as possible. But you're too embarrassed to tell me directly, right?" Wu Yuandong smiled and did not answer directly. It was a tacit admission. "You are the successor of the Three Lotus Association that the president appointed in his will. The president needs you to help the Three Lotus Association, and the Three Lotus Association needs your help. You know that the Three Lotus Association cannot go a day without a leader, and the dragons cannot go a day without a leader. It's time for you to step up." "Brother Dong, you're wrong." Su Yun said, "What I can do for the Three Lotus Association is far less than what you can do. The president does want me to be the president of the Three Lotus Association, but you and I both know that he doesn't really think that I have the energy and ability to manage the entire Three Lotus Association. He's thinking for Lin Suyin." "That's right. When he entrusted the Three Lotus Association to you, he also entrusted the first miss to you." Wu Yuandong said, "But don't underestimate yourself. If you really don't have any ability at all, the president wouldn't have handed the Three Lotus Association to you. You have the strength." Su Yun took another sip of wine. "All right, I admit it. I admit that I have the strength. But you can't deny that I really don't have the energy. Lang Chen is still out there, and I don't know what he'll do to achieve his goal. His goal is my daughter, Guagua. Before I resolve this matter, I will not have the energy to stay in Taiwan to deal with the Three Lotus Association." Wu Yuandong let out a long sigh. "Brother, just say it. Even after you've dealt with Lang Chen, you still won't be able to focus on the Three Lotus Association. Am I right? The president thinks highly of me, and I'm very grateful to him." Su Yun said, "But Zhang Taisui is still waiting for me to take over the Sky Entertainment Group. Hee, should I take advantage of the fact that Dongying is not destroyed and go find a few ninjutsu masters to learn shadow clone jutsu? One stays in Taiwan and one stays in the mainland." Wu Yuandong couldn't help but laugh. "Yes, if you can split into 2 people, then everything will be easy to solve." Su Yun laughed. "Ha ha ha, Brother Dong, you're not the kind of person who will only cause problems for me. If you want to talk to me today, then you must be thinking of a way to help me solve my current situation. I know that you will definitely help me, just like how you know that I won't stay in Taiwan. Yes, I want to talk to you because I want to share your burden." Wu Yuandong said. "But I want to make one thing clear. I can do anything for the Three Lotus Association, and I can do anything for you. But you can't appoint me as the president of the Three Lotus Association. That's the only thing I want to tell you today. Go do what you need to do. I will take care of the Three Lotus Association. But the precondition is that the position of the president is still yours. Do you understand? Su Yun smiled helplessly. Wu Yuandong really did understand him. Even when he wanted to publicly appoint Wu Yuandong as the president before he left Taiwan, Wu Yuandong had seen through him. Even if the young miss matures one day and you return the Three Lotus Association to her, you can't appoint me as the president. Wu Yuandong was very firm. I don't want you to stay in Taiwan, and I don't want you to take care of the Three Lotus Association. The only thing you need to do for the Three Lotus Association is to bring Lang Chen back. That's what you should do as the president. That's what the young miss wants to see the most. Only if you are the president of the Three Lotus Association will the young miss not think that the Three Lotus Association has nothing to do with her. Su Yun shook his head. But it's the same if you are the president. Lin Suyin trusts you. She won't stop if you are the president. The Three Lotus Association has nothing to do with her. Wu Yuandong gulped down the wine. That's different. Why don't you understand? The young miss likes you. She has already decided that you are the one she has been waiting for her entire life. The person she needs the most is you. But listen to me. Wu Yuandong didn't give Su Yun a chance to speak. He interrupted Su Yun. I know very well that you can't make any promises to her. You have Ruan Qingxuang, Zhuo Meiyan, and many other women you can't let go of. Compared to them, the young miss doesn't have any advantage to occupy your heart. I don't ask that you do it for her alone. I only ask that you give her a small place in your heart. Su Yun didn't know why Wu Yuandong would say something like that. It really surprised him. Brother Dong, you didn't drink too much, did you? Wu Yuandong swirled the empty glass. It's only half a glass of whiskey. How could I drink too much? I know that you may not understand what I'm saying, so let me explain. When I was with the president, the young miss was still a little girl. In my eyes, she is like guagua in your eyes. Do you know that feeling? Like the president and many people in the association, I treat her like a daughter. So Brother Dong, you don't have to say any more. I understand. Su Yun nodded. I can't promise anything, but I promise that I will take good care of her. Wu Yuandong picked up the wine and filled Su Yun's glass. He also filled his own. The only person I can entrust the young miss to is you. I believe that the only person who won't disappoint me is you. So even though I know that you're not the best choice, you're my only choice. Su Yun raised his glass and drank the entire glass in one gulp. Wu Yuandong swirled his glass. I'm sorry, brother. Maybe I shouldn't have put so much pressure on you, but I really have no choice. Su Yun patted Wu Yuandong's shoulder. You're treating me like an outsider. If you've decided, I'll get someone to arrange the plane tickets immediately. You need to go back and take a look. The young miss also needs to go out for a walk. Wu Yuandong said. Also, Lang Chen might be trying to cause trouble in the mainland. You should go back as soon as possible. I won't keep you any longer. I'll help you and the young miss take care of everything in the Three Lotus Association. What else could Su Yun say? He watched as Wu Yuandong left the Lin residence. Then, he returned to the room where Lin Suyin and Lin Gu were playing games. Another 3 wins in a row. When Lin Suyin and Lin Gu saw Su Yun, they logged out of the game. Where's Brother Dong? He went back. Su Yun said, There's something I need to tell you. Pack up tonight and we'll head back to the mainland tomorrow. Lang Chen had spent the entire night interrogating Lin Si-hai, but he didn't get any valuable information about the bodyguard team out of him. When he returned to the open sea and couldn't find Muto Ichiro, his anger was even more unquenchable. When Lang Chen got in touch with Muto Ichiro and learned about what happened that night, he realized that Lin Si-hai was risking his life to buy time for Su Yun and the others. Lang Chen was even more surprised that Su Yun and the others actually had the ability to wipe out He Zhong's entire team. Lang Chen, you're the biggest jinx I've ever met in my life. If it weren't for you, my entire team wouldn't have been wiped out. You'd better not let me see you again. Muto Ichiro's anger was no less than Lang Chen's. His current situation was even more troublesome. He didn't even know how to explain the fact that Heizhong's entire team had been wiped out. Lang Chen sneered. Muto Ichiro, you're also the worst piece of trash I've ever met in my life. You're a profound Earth Realm Ghost King. You led 9 ghosts and the entire Heizhong team, yet you were wiped out by Su Yun. How dare you continue to live? If I were you, I would have thrown myself into the sea and fed myself to the sharks. You'd better not let me see you again. Didn't you die in their hands too? How dare you talk about me like that? Muto Ichiro sneered. Lang Chen, there's something else I want to tell you. How did Green Ghost get discovered on Hades Island after he left the Hellgate? Don't you think you need to explain yourself? Lang Chen's heart leaped into his throat. Muto Ichiro, how dare you send people to my territory to cause trouble? Wrong, wrong, wrong. We're all doing this for ourselves, aren't we? Muto Ichiro snorted. You want to use me, but you won't tell me the truth. Of course I have to figure it out myself. What did Green Ghost tell you? Lang Chen asked angrily. Muto Ichiro smiled darkly. If you want to know, go to hell and ask him yourself. I'll only tell you one thing. You'll pay the price for using me. If you have the energy to threaten me, why don't you think about how you're going to explain to your Dongying masters how Heizhong's team was wiped out? Lang Chen spat on the ground. If you've thought it through, I'll give you a chance to continue working with me. If you don't, then don't blame me for ignoring our old friendship the next time I see you. You don't even care about Lin Si-hai, let alone me? Muto Ichiro laughed. Now I should be the one giving you a chance to work with me. Let's see if you can seize it. Lang Chen was silent for a long time. In the end, he ended the call with Muto Ichiro with a sneer. You're no longer useful. Why should I work with a Dongying lackey? No matter how useless I am, I won't fall to the point of being a lackey for the Dongying people. Then you think too highly of yourself. You killed Lin Si-hai, which means you're working for the Dongying people. You're no different from me. Muto Ichiro said angrily before Lang Chen hung up. Chapter 772. Not everyone in the Three Lotus Association seemed to agree with Su Yun's decision to bring Lin Suyin away. At least, Di Zihong didn't think that Su Yun's decision was right. That night, when he heard that Wu Yuandong was going to book their flight tickets for the next day, he brought his men to the Lin family's villa and surrounded it. Su Yun didn't know what was going on. Di Zihong's sudden change in attitude didn't seem right. At least, Su Yun wanted to find out the reason. No matter what, Di Zihong was loyal to the Three Lotus Association and Lin Si-hai. He had to have a reason for doing so. Even though Di Zihong had surrounded Su Yun with his men, Su Yun still seemed very calm. The sound of the car engine and the footsteps of the crowd didn't just disturb Su Yun. Lin Gu rushed out of the room to see what was going on. Lin Suyin, who was about to go to sleep, also got out of bed and opened the curtains to take a look. When she saw that the entire courtyard was filled with Di Zihong and his men, she couldn't help but be shocked. Leader Di, it's already so late. Why are you looking for me? Su Yun's calm demeanor made Di Zihong a little uncomfortable. As for the others, they were even more restrained in front of Su Yun. After all, Su Yun was the leader of the Three Lotus Association that Lin Si-hai had personally appointed in his will. Anyone who dared to say no would be disrespectful to President Lin. Di Zihong's Adam's apple moved slightly. President, I, Di Zihong, have worked for the Three Lotus Association for so many years. I've always been open and above board. I'm sure you know why I'm looking for you today. Why are you asking the obvious? I heard that Brother Dong sent someone to buy the flight tickets. It's not that I wanted to find out, but the men working under me felt that this won't do. That's why they called me. Since I'm still a member of the Three Lotus Association, I have an obligation to stand up. Even if this is disrespectful to President Lin, I still have to do it. Lin Gu glared at D Zihong. Leader D, do you know what you're doing? If the president was still alive, he would never forgive you for what you did. It's fine if you have something to say, but why did you bring so many people here? Are you trying to rebel? It doesn't matter if what I did was wrong, or if I shouldn't have done it, but I have to make one thing clear today. D Zihong said, Su Yun, you are the guild master's successor, so you must stay and lead us. Help us find Lang Chen's murderer and avenge the old president. He didn't choose to leave, and even wanted to take young Miss with him. No matter what, I will never allow you to do that. If you really want to do that, then you'll have to do it over my dead body. Over the corpses of these 3 Lotus Society brothers. Yes. You can't go. You must lead us to avenge the old president. D Zihong's words stirred up the emotions of the 3 Lotus Society's brothers present. Looking at his agitated brothers, Lin Ji's anger flared up. What are you all shouting about? Do you know how much my brother has sacrificed for the 3 Lotus Club? Don't think that you are the only ones who want revenge. We want to avenge the old president even more than you. But what my brother wants to do is not up to you to tell him what to do. D Zihong, you better bring your men back. I'll give you 2 choices. Either you stay, or you hand over the authority of the guild master and leave. D Zihong ignored Lin Ji's words. Also, young Miss cannot go with you. She is the old president's only family member, so the 3 Lotus Society must protect young Miss's safety. Su Yun did not say anything. D Zihong was so agitated that he could not tell right from wrong. He needed him to calm down before he could explain. What if we don't agree? Lin Gu said angrily. Do you think the authority of the guild master is given to anyone? You can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. You'd better not give me another reason to teach you a lesson. If you think I'm spouting nonsense, then do it. You have no choice. If you don't agree, then step over my dead body. D Zihong said. I've always been open and above board. Everyone knows that I'm not doing this for any authority. I'm doing this for the future of the 3 Lotus Society. If the 3 Lotus Society has no future and I don't stand up for it, then I don't deserve to continue being the leader. The sharp sound of a car braking came from outside the Lin family's villa. The crowd suddenly opened up a path. Wu Yuandong, who had left less than 2 hours ago, rushed back. 10 minutes after he sent someone to book the plane tickets, he heard that D Zihong did not agree to this matter. He immediately called D Zihong, but D Zihong refused to answer his call. Thinking of D Zihong's various extreme actions after Lin Ji's death, Wu Yuandong guessed that he might have come back to cause trouble for Su Yun and Lin Gu. So, he quickly rushed back. Sure enough, he guessed right. D Zihong had indeed done something extreme again. Vice President. The crowd opened up a path. Wu Yuandong's prestige was still quite high. After all, he was the vice president appointed by Lin Si-hai. He had also helped the 3 Lotus Society remove Ji Feng's poisonous thorn. In the eyes of most of the 3 Lotus Society members, Wu Yuandong was obviously more imposing. Wu Yuandong walked straight towards D Zihong, but D Zihong had no intention of avoiding him. He raised his head and looked at Wu Yuandong. When Wu Yuandong got close to D Zihong, he did not say anything and threw a punch at him. His attack was not without warning. At least he gave D Zihong enough time to raise his hand to block, but D Zihong had no intention of blocking at all. After Wu Yuandong's fist slammed into D Zihong's face, D Zihong swayed 2 steps, but still stood firmly in front of Wu Yuandong. He spat out the blood in his mouth, but there were still traces of blood at the corner of his mouth. Are you done being crazy? Wu Yuandong said coldly. No matter what, you're still the leader of the 3 Lotus Society. How could you do such a disgraceful thing? President Lin is dead, and we all feel terrible. Not just you. Everyone feels the same. But you have to stay calm. You have to put away your bad temper. You don't have the right to continue messing around. Everyone is on the right track, and now you're the only one who keeps messing around. Do you think you're a hero? Do you think you're being loyal to President Lin by doing this? Bullshit. Everything you've done is the greatest disrespect to him. Di Zihong was yelled at by Wu Yuandong, but he did not say a word. When Wu Yuandong was done venting, Di Zihong raised his fist and threw a punch at Wu Yuandong. It also landed on Wu Yuandong's face. Hit me. If hitting me can make you a human again, I'd rather you hit me to death. Hit me. Wu Yuandong grabbed Di Zihong's wrist and slammed it on his face with all his strength. Di Zihong suddenly screamed, "Ah!" and broke free from Wu Yuandong's grip. Why? Why did you let him leave? We all know how important Su Yun is to the Three Lotus Society. If he leaves, he'll be betraying the president's trust in him. Then have you ever thought about whether Su Yun would agree to the president's request? Wu Yuandong scolded angrily. Su Yun has his own life. We can't be so selfish as to sacrifice his life for the sake of the Three Lotus Society. He's done enough for the Three Lotus Society. He can protect and take care of young mistress. If you still respect the old president, then run the Three Lotus Society well with me. Let Su Yun and young mistress be able to face them whenever they return to being gay. Do you understand? What's the point of them going to the mainland? Di Zihong said. If young mistress wants to relax, she can go anywhere. Is being gay really that small? There are so many beach resorts. Are they not enough for young mistress to relax? Wu Yuandong grabbed Di Zihong's collar and pulled him in front of him. Di Zihong, I'm warning you. Don't make trouble for no reason. They have important things to do when they return to the mainland. Su Yun promised us that he would bring Lang Chan to us and avenge President Lin in front of all the Three Lotus Society brothers. If you don't want him to break his promise, then let him go back. Unless you have the ability to bring Lang Chan to us brothers. If you don't, then remember my words. Don't cause trouble for Su Yun. Di Zihong was stunned. He slapped Wu Yuandong's hand away. Lang Chan is in the mainland? Where is he? As he spoke, his gaze turned to Su Yun. As for whether Lang Chan is in the mainland, I can only guess. But I'm not far from the truth. Su Yun said. As for where he is, I can tell you very clearly that I don't know. But there's one thing I'm sure of. Even if I don't look for him, he'll definitely come knocking on my door. Beside me, there were targets for him to hunt. So I'm not worried that he won't come knocking on my door. Di Zihong frowned. Could it be that his target is young mistress? Of course not. Su Yun shook his head. If Lang Chen's target was young mistress, I would definitely stay in Taiwan and not go anywhere. But unfortunately, his target is someone else. So, I have to go back. Whether you're willing or not, whether you understand or not, I have to go. As for what you said about young mistress staying, I can tell you clearly that I'm not forcing her to go anywhere with me. I respect her choice. If you think it's necessary, we can let her make her own choice. If she wants to stay in Taiwan, I don't have any objections. But if she wants to go to the mainland with me, I'm more than happy to escort her. It's that simple. Brother Dong made it very clear just now. The president's death has saddened everyone. But what's done is done. If you continue to act crazy, as the president of the Three Lotus Society, I have the right to kick you out of the Three Lotus Society. This was a rather serious sentence. Su Yun, who didn't have much prestige in the eyes of the Three Lotus Sex brothers, exuded an oppressive aura when he said this, causing everyone present to fall silent. I understand, Di Zihong said. I won't act crazy again. I want to stay in the Three Lotus Society. But as for whether young mistress stays or leaves, I want to hear her own choice. At that moment, Lin Suyin opened the window on the second floor. She stood at the window and said to everyone downstairs, I'll go to the mainland with Su Yun. I'll help him bring Lang Chen back to Taiwan. I promise to everyone, I promise to everyone. At the same time, I also want to thank Hall Master D and everyone. Thank you for everything you've done for the Three Lotus Society. I appreciate your kindness. I know you're thinking for me and for the Three Lotus Society. Thank you. But now, you have to trust me and Su Yun. At the same time, you have to cooperate with Vice President Wu. When Su Yun and I aren't around, Wu Yuendong's words are the president's. Understood. Everyone responded when young mistress said this. Di Zihong didn't know if what he did today was right or wrong. He chose to respect young mistress's choice. Before he left, he told Su Yun, "Please take good care of young mistress. I thank you on behalf of the Three Lotus Society. I also thank you on behalf of young mistress for everything you've done for the Three Lotus Society," Su Yun said. "Hall Master D, we understand your kindness." Chapter 773. Lin Suyin was very calm on the day she left Taiwan. After thanking Wu Yuandong, she slowly walked into the boarding area. Wu Yuandong didn't say much to Su Yun. Those things weren't important to them. He only asked Su Yun to take down Leng Chen. He placed all his hopes on him. After Wu Yuandong and the others watched the plane leave, Long Lianghui said softly, "Vice President, I heard about what happened last night, but I can't accept your decision. Di Zihong's actions yesterday were indeed too extreme, but you really need to stand up and give the brothers a reasonable explanation. Otherwise, it'll be hard to convince them. Brother Long, you should call me Little Wu or Yuandong. It sounds more pleasing to the ear." Wu Yuandong smiled. "I'm more used to calling you that. But you can't call me that now. The Three Lotus Association needs you to completely control the situation. First, you have to start with Di Zihong and me submitting." Long Lianghui said, "He's always been impulsive, but he's definitely loyal. You and I both know this very well. I need to put on a show for the brothers of the Three Lotus Association to see, but you also need to explain things clearly." Wu Yuandong nodded. "Brother Long, I know what you mean. From today onwards, there will definitely be rumors in the association that I, Wu Yuandong, have ulterior motives. This is unavoidable. When I made the decision to let Su Yun and Miss leave, I already thought of this." Long Lianghui frowned. "But you still insisted on doing so. Do you have a reason?" "Of course." Wu Yuandong said, "You can't possibly think that I'm so selfish as to deprive my brothers of their private rights for my own reputation. I also don't have the right to let Miss stay behind and face the days after the president leaves. You and I both know very well that it was all because of Su Yun that eldest Miss was able to wake up. Yes, I don't object to Miss and Su Yun being together. After all, Su Yun is someone the president thinks highly of." Long Lianghui nodded and said, "I don't object to you letting them leave. We indeed have no reason to let them stay. Moreover, the new president bears the heavy responsibility of capturing Leng Chen. But there will definitely be people who will say that you want to usurp the throne. Are you prepared to withstand the shock?" Wu Yuandong nodded. "Heaven is watching what we do. I, Wu Yuandong, have never acted against my conscience. If you have any doubts, then feel free to come. If anyone has the ability to do so, I'll just hand over the position of vice president to him. This should prove my magnanimity, right? Since you are ready, that's good." Long Lianghui nodded. "Okay, the plane is far away. Let's go back. Big Sister Suyin, I really can't believe that you've never been to the continent." Lin Gu said frankly, "It's not like it was in the past. There are many people moving back and forth between the two shores. But most of the people in Taiwan have never been to the mainland, just like most of the people in the mainland have never been to Taiwan." Lin Suyin smiled. "Just like some ignorant people who naively think that the people in the mainland can't afford tea eggs. After all, Taiwan is one of the first 4 regions to rise in Asia. The sense of superiority has blinded the eyes of most people." Su Yun also smiled slightly. "Fortunately, most of them aren't ignorant. For example, you. That's natural. If it weren't for the support and guidance of the huge dragon, Hua Xia, Taiwan wouldn't have the title of Asia's 4 little dragons." Lin Suyin nodded. "Actually, I've wanted to visit the great rivers and mountains of my motherland for a long time. It's just that my dad has always been busy with his matters. He doesn't have the time to accompany me on this trip. Now it's popular to travel alone, with just a backpack and a camera. Lin Gu said, "It's not like you don't have any conditions. Why didn't you try?" "It's easy to say, but it's not easy to do." Lin Suyin shook her head. "The prerequisite is to have a family that doesn't lack money, to have completed your studies, and to have a company that allows you to take a leave of absence. Otherwise, with so many responsibilities on people's shoulders, how can you go on a trip as you wish? Unless you don't have so many shackles." Su Yun had to praise Lin Suyin's words. The environment in the first-class cabin was much more comfortable. Su Yun and the rest didn't have a good rest last night, so they all closed their eyes and prepared to rest for a while. But not long after, a shocking sound came from the entire cabin. The air stewardess's broadcast directly stunned the people in the first-class cabin. Everyone stared with their eyes wide open. They looked at each other and didn't know what had happened. "All passengers, please take note. In order to not cause unnecessary harm, please prepare all the valuable things you carry with you. Our plane has been hijacked. Thank you for your cooperation and satisfy the demands of the hijackers. Hijack your sister. Call them big brothers. Satisfy the demands of the big brothers." Just after the air stewardess's voice fell, a hoarse voice shouted, "Ask them to prepare all the cash and jewelry, and also the IQ card." "No, it's the IC card. No, it's called bank card. Bank card. Do you understand?" Just after the broadcast ended, a tall air stewardess came to the first-class cabin first under the control of two hijackers. Everyone knew that the people in the first-class cabin were either corrupt officials or rich people. Anyway, they were all people with status. At the very least, they were high-paid leaders of a large enterprise. To put it bluntly, they were all rich people. "Passengers, please don't panic. Try to cooperate." This air stewardess was absolutely dedicated. She held a tray in her hand, and the hijackers' knives were on their necks. Her first sentence was to appease the passengers. The two hijackers, one tall and one short, one fat and one thin, looked like a scale and a weight, a perfect match. When Su Yun saw the beautiful air stewardess's bare legs, he understood where the black stockings on the two hijackers' heads came from. What the hell, these two are really weird. This is not a street robbery where no one would recognize you if you put on a pair of stockings. This is a plane. Even if you put on the Iron Man armor, your information would have been recorded by the airline. You really have a conscience. The fat man who looked like a weight stammered angrily, It's. At this time, you still, comfort them. Ask them to hurry up and take out all the valuable things. All of them. Su Yun felt a headache coming. He didn't even learn how to speak properly, and he even imitated others to rob. With this IQ, he was afraid that he was in the negative. Hijacking a plane was not a small matter. Even if someone wanted to do it, it would be a crime with a high IQ. With one look, one could tell that this weight man was not cultured. He might not have even graduated from primary school, and his tongue was also disabled. He would definitely not be able to hijack a plane. Most of the passengers in the first-class cabin were usually arrogant in other places. Now that they were faced with a low IQ criminal, all of them became timid. A big-hearted and fat rich lady was the first to set an example. She took off the diamond ring on her finger, the gemstone necklace on her neck, the sparkling earrings on her ears, and the expensive watch and gold bracelet on her wrist. She placed all of them on the tray in the hands of the air stewardess. When she saw that the air stewardess's tray was still in front of her, she hurriedly took out her donkey brand handbag and placed all the cash in it on the tray. Beside the fat rich lady was a young man. It was not clear if he was her son or a gigolo. His legs were trembling as he hid behind the fat rich lady. He was so nervous that he almost peed in his pants. Good job. Brother Steele smiled so widely that his eyes narrowed into a line. This fat lady, What's your name again? Shut up. Watch this air stewardess carefully. Speak less and do more. The skinny man who looked like a scale glared at Brother Steele. Then, he sneered at everyone in the first-class cabin. I'm very pleased with this lady's performance. She has already set a very good example for all of you. Next, all of you will have to follow her example. After that, Brother Steele took out a mobile credit card machine and placed it in front of the fat rich lady. Madam, I'm sure you didn't just bring cash with you. I see that you have so many cards in your handbag. Come, since you're so cooperative, I'll give you 1 million. You just need to enter the password obediently. 1 million. Chapter 774. Su Yun could only shake his head helplessly when he saw that everyone was scrambling to pay for the robber's request. It was even more intense than fighting for a piece of land that could generate tens of billions of yuan. Amidst the fierce competition, there were actually passengers who were fighting with each other for the right to pay earlier, spitting vulgarities at each other. This scene was really laughable and helpless. Lin Gu looked at Su Yun, as if asking him if he should step out now to calm this small disturbance. Su Yun shook his head slightly, indicating to Lin Gu not to be impulsive. Now that the stewardess was still under the control of the fat robber, if they acted rashly, it was very likely that innocent people would be hurt. It was a given that they had to deal with these two people, but the timing had to be grasped well to ensure that no one would be hurt. Lin Suin's eyes widened as she looked at the crazy people in disbelief. She was at a loss. At this time, no one was calling for everyone to stand up. Instead, they were selfishly killing each other in order to not lose more money. It was said that there were true feelings in the world, but when a disaster was about to befall them, who would care about others? All right. Stop fighting. We can play a game where I ask questions and you guys answer. The first one to answer will have to pay first. The skinny man smiled proudly. First question, what is the brightest thing in the sky? The sun. The man with the gold-rimmed glasses would definitely not give away a chance that he only needed to pay 2 million yuan. His reaction speed was definitely faster than the others, and it seemed like he was also a guy with a high IQ. It was a pity that his character was a little lacking. The fat man took a while to react before he said in surprise, F asterisk CK. Your answer is correct. The man with the gold-rimmed glasses heaved a sigh of relief and paid the 2 million yuan to the robber under the envious eyes of everyone. Of course, the expensive Bailey Tamiflu on his wrist and the diamond wedding ring on his ring finger were also taken by the robber. Brother, do you think that these people's brains have been flooded with water? Lin Gu whispered. There are only 2 of them, and they only have a fruit knife in their hand. How can they control the situation with such little deterrence? I can't stand it anymore. This is too ridiculous and laughable. Su Yun said indifferently, do you think this kind of hijacking was planned by these 2 idiots? Is there someone else? Lin Suin widened her eyes. Of course, I'm afraid that the mastermind is observing his profits in front of the computer. Su Yun smiled. These 2 people are just being used as guns. Even if we don't do anything, they will be caught after the plane lands. The cash and jewelry handed over are stolen goods. And no one will step forward to admit that they got the money by swiping the card. Why? Lin Suin did not understand. Why didn't they ask for the money that was forcefully taken away? Su Yun glanced at Lin Suin. Because the money isn't clean. No one would be willing to give up their hard-earned money. Judging from the way these people are scrambling to pay, their money isn't earned through hard work. Instead, it's some ill-gotten gains. Only ill-gotten gains can be so generous when they're giving out ill-gotten gains. If the money was earned through hard work, it would be as important as their lives. But in the eyes of these people, their lives are much more important than money. To them, money is just a worldly possession that they can get again even if they lose it. It doesn't matter. Lin Gu also understood. They would rather lose a few million than let the police investigate their source of income. Looks like this plan is really not something these 2 idiots could come up with. I'm afraid they are so stupid that they are being used as guns and still don't know the current situation. If they have some brains, they will control the flight route and force the plane to land in a no-man's land. Soo-yoon, but looking at the current situation, from the stewardess' calmness, it's not difficult to see that they have no intention of controlling the plane. Sure enough, after the gold-rimmed glasses man swiped the card, Fat Steel said cheerfully, Bro, wait, until the plane lands in Xinjiang. We will go, find the most expensive little miss. Eat the most expensive delicacies. Buy soup, the best river viewing house. Tang Chen your grandpa. The skinny man said, in Tang Chen, the best river viewing house, even a toilet would cost a few million. Fat Steel was stunned. So expensive? Then let them pay more. Shut up. You better watch over the hostages. The skinny man scolded and then said to the passengers, All right, I'm going to give you the question now. Get ready. What is the brightest thing in the sky at night? The moon. A fat man with a big head and big ears, wearing gold and silver all over his body, shouted, The moon is the brightest thing. After successfully answering the question, the fat man panted as he walked to the two robbers and took off 8 gold rings from his 10 fingers. The thick necklace around his neck that weighed at least 300 grams was not spared either. Of course, compared to the 3 million, this was nothing. Seeing the fat man swiping his card, the remaining passengers became more anxious. Everyone wanted to end the nightmare as soon as possible. The fat man with the big head and big ears, the man with the gold-rimmed glasses, and the fat rich lady, all of them looked relaxed and even had a gloating look on their faces. It was as if this matter did not concern them. Very good, very good. So far, everything is going smoothly. The skinny man said, Next, my question is, other than the moon, the stars. Before the skinny man could finish his sentence, a young woman of about 35 years old stood up. Other than the moon, the stars are the brightest. The skinny man gave a thumbs up. Fat Steel grinned. Gong. Congratulations. You've learned how to snatch. Lin Suin couldn't help but laugh. Was this group of people joking? Or were they rehearsing a skit for the Spring Festival Gala? Could this fat man be Teacher Benchen's disciple? If he wasn't, then he was definitely here to show off his low IQ. Lin Suin's laughter attracted the attention of the skinny man and the fat man. Both of them stared at Lin Suin fiercely. What are you laughing at? Little girl, don't think that just because you're pretty, I'll have tender feelings for you. The skinny man said angrily, When I'm speaking, it's not your turn to laugh at me. Fat Steel had a dazed look on his face as he drooled. Big brother, this girl is not bad. If you don't have tender feelings for her, then give her to me. I'll take pity on her. Pity your sister. The skinny man scolded and strode to Lin Suin. Fat Steel also walked over with the air stewardess. Lin Suin had Soo-yoon and Lin Ge by her side, so she didn't feel any fear at all. She met the skinny man's gaze without any intention of avoiding it. I answered correctly. Why don't I swipe my card first? The young woman who answered correctly looked at the two robbers in a daze. It was as if she was afraid that they would forget that she was the fourth one to pay the bill. Fat Steel stared at the young woman. You, if you're deliberately imitating my words, I'll strip you naked. I'll let the big guy see. The young woman was so frightened by Fat Steel's threat that she hurriedly shut her mouth. She didn't stutter on purpose. It was because of the atmosphere and her own fear that she couldn't help but stutter. The skinny man stared at Lin Suin for a while. Why did you laugh just now? I'm laughing because your questions are too ridiculous. Lin Suin didn't evade the question at all. Can you ask something of a certain standard? Fat Steel snorted. What is of Of a certain standard? I want to hear your papaya milk. What good questions can you ask? How long is the Great Wall of China? Lin Suyin looked at the fat man who called her papaya milk with disgust. Faced with such a provocative question, Fat Steel was stunned. He racked his brains but still couldn't answer it. When he was young, he didn't learn history and geography well. He could only look at the skinny man for help. Big. Brother, how long is the Great Wall of China? You know, right? The skinny man wanted to slap this idiot to death. The Great Wall of China is, of course, 10,000 miles long. Are you stupid? This is a brain teaser. Do you think this is a general knowledge question? He turned and stared at Lin Suyin. The answer is 10,000 miles. Wrong. Lin Suyin said disdainfully, the length of the Great Wall of China is 21,196,18,000 meters. The skinny man was stunned for a moment. It's really that long? Fat Steel looked at Lin Suyin in admiration. You, papaya milk. Lass, you're quite good. Alright, then I'll ask you a question too. If you can answer it correctly, I'll let you be the fourth to pay the bill. The skinny man said. The young woman behind him was unwilling. I'm the fourth to answer. I should be the first to answer. Fat Steel turned and scolded. You be asterisk cheese. Shut up. My brother has the final say here. It's not your turn to speak. The young woman had a resentful look on her face. She stared at Lin Suyin with resentment, as if Lin Suyin had snatched a chance to throw away her 4 million yuan. Lin Suyin didn't have a good impression of this kind of woman. She pointed at the young woman. You'd better let her swipe her card first. Otherwise, she'll hate me to death. All right. The skinny man stared at her. However, after the young woman swiped her card, she didn't smile at Lin Suyin. She still looked at Lin Suyin coldly, as if she didn't feel that she owed Lin Suyin any favors. Su Yun smiled bitterly in his heart. Women were indeed the most vicious. Lin Suyin should know very well that if these two robbers were to make things difficult for her, he and Lin Ge would immediately take action. They could totally help the young woman get her remaining 4 million yuan. However, she didn't hesitate to let the robbers swipe the 4 million yuan from the young woman first. Lin Suyin was very clear about the fact that the money that was swiped by the card could never be returned. But then again, the young woman didn't feel any heartache even after spending so much money. She guessed that he was either a lover of a high-ranking official or a mistress. It didn't matter if he had to spend a little money. It wouldn't hurt him at all. After the skinny man took the jewelry from the young woman, he confronted Lin Suyin again. Let me ask you, how many stars are there in the sky? If you can answer it, I won't take a single cent from you. Huff. Facing such an unanswered question, the young woman looked at Lin Suyin gloatingly. The other passengers were also watching from the sidelines. None of them stood out to speak for Lin Suyin. Chapter 775. Wow! Everyone present was amazed by Lin Suyin's cleverness, but no one dared to utter a word. Everyone knew that if these two robbers were to point their spears at other people, it would be an additional layer of security for them. Although they weren't gloating, they were secretly glad that there was someone who stood up for them. Little brat! Are you playing with me? The skinny man scolded angrily. Today, I will let you know who you have offended. Fatty, come over here and strip this chick for me. I will personally give all the officials and nobles here a free physiological lesson. I will teach you 36 types of postures and 108 types of patterns. Fatty Steel was overjoyed. He pushed the tall stewardess behind him and said happily, Big brother. I'm going to explode. Can you first teach me double hole, double fly? Lin Suyin frowned at the bandit's obscenities and scolded, Pervert. Seeing that the stewardess was out of Fatty Steele's control, Su-Yun could finally stretch his body comfortably. Phew! Have the two of you had enough? Shouldn't it be time for them to stop? He. I have been sitting here for so long that all my bones are stiff. It's time for me to move my muscles. Seeing that someone suddenly stood up to save the damsel in distress, the skinny man was shocked. He hurriedly called out to Fatty Steele. Fatty! Let's cripple this brat first. Let's see if they still dare to challenge me. Kill him. Ah! Fatty Steele suddenly screamed in agony. The skinny man was shocked. He turned around and saw that one of Fatty Steele's arms had been deformed. It was bent at an unbelievable degree in front of him. Lin Gu was really ruthless. Not only did he break Fatty Steele's arm, but his knee also hit the back of Fatty Steele's waist. Fatty Steele screamed again and knelt on the ground. Lin Gu swiftly and violently hit Fatty Steele's neck with a karate chop. Fatty Steele didn't even have the chance to scream before he fainted on the floor. The fruit knife in his hand had already been snatched away by Lin Gu and handed over to the stewardess. Flight attendant sister, this is evidence of their crimes. You have to take good care of it. Lin Ji's smile was still very charming. At least, the stewardess's face turned red. That feeling of love at first sight was not something that anyone could experience. The sudden turn of events left the skinny man at a loss. His panicked gaze wandered back and forth between Su-Yun and Lin Gu. Being alone and helpless made him fall into a deep fear. What do you think? Do you want to count your hair, or do you want to stretch your muscles and bones with me? Su-Yun raised his eyebrows provocatively. When the skinny man saw this, he could only go all out. He shouted angrily and pounced on Su-Yun. There's a path to heaven, but you don't want to take it. There's no door to hell, but you insist on entering it. I'm going to kill you today. In Su-Yun's eyes, the skinny man's full blow was like soft cotton candy. He didn't even dodge. He directly raised his hand and grabbed the skinny man's fist. His 5 fingers exerted force, and the sound of bones breaking could be heard from the skinny man's fist. Ah! Ouch! Big brother! Big brother! I was wrong. I was wrong. Please let me go. The skinny man couldn't bear the pain of his bones being crushed. He begged in pain. Please, I beg you. Spare me. You're a magnanimous person. Just treat me as a fart and let me go. Su-Yun had never been interested in trash and cowards. He directly threw the skinny man's fist away and gave Lin Gu a look. Lin Gu nodded. He directly grabbed the skinny man's arms and stepped on his back. He exerted force with both hands and dislocated the skinny man's arms. The skinny man fell to the ground with a thud. Although he and Su-Yun wanted to move their muscles and bones, their opponents were too weak. They were no match for them at all. Phew, there's no need to return the things that the two of them snatched just now, Lin Gu said to the stewardess. Leave it for the police as evidence. The police will return it to its rightful owner. The stewardess nodded seriously at Lin Gu. Her face was still red. You've already caught them. Why don't you return it to us? The man with the gold-rimmed glasses stood up. What about our money? With him taking the lead, the young woman and the rich woman also became agitated. After all, only the 4 of them had suffered losses. The only one who didn't say anything was the fat man. You guys took the initiative to spend the money. When you get off the plane, get the police to help you get it back. I'm not your nanny. Why should I care about you? Lin Gu said in annoyance. This person was really a bastard. In front of the 2 idiotic robbers, he was a coward. Now that the robbers were dead, he was shouting at them with such righteousness. Seeing Lin Ji's glare, the man with the gold-rimmed glasses didn't dare to say anything. He could only look at the man who he thought was more imposing. The fat man felt his gaze. He raised his head and looked at him. You snatched the money faster than anyone else. Now you're the most anxious. If you have the ability, go get the money from the 2 criminals. If you don't, sit down and wait to get off the plane. Hearing the words of the big man, the man with the gold-rimmed glasses could only give up his 2 million. Of course, he didn't dare to get it back. The money wasn't clean. It hadn't been cleaned yet. The two men didn't say anything. The young woman could only swallow her anger. She was the one who lost the most. It was the hardest for her to swallow her anger. She really didn't know how to explain to the leader who supported her where the money went. If he suspected that she was secretly supporting a man and no longer supported her, she would turn from a phoenix to a chicken. The rich woman who lost the least was still in a good mood. 1 million was nothing to her. She had already started to comfort the gigolo beside her wholeheartedly. "Honey, it wasn't that I didn't want to give you the 1 million just now. I already knew that these two would definitely be subdued. Our loss was reduced by another 1 million. When we get back to Shenzhen, I'll immediately buy you a Highlander to compensate you." "Damn fat woman, are you pretending to be a good person now?" The gigolo wasn't willing. "How much is a Highlander worth? Don't you think that the car has a lot of space, so it's convenient for you to have car sex with me?" "Humph, I don't want it. Unless you give me an Audi Q7. Otherwise, there's nothing to talk about. I quit." Okay. An Audi Q7 is an Audi Q7. Fei Futai agreed immediately. Anyway, the cheapest Audi Q7 had dropped to about 600,000 after the discount. When it landed, it would only be 70 or so. It could also give him a comfortable car sex space. It was better than spending an extra 1 million for nothing. Hearing that the fat woman agreed to his request, the gigolo's expression immediately changed. He didn't call her fat woman anymore. "Dear, are you serious? As long as you buy me an Audi Q7, I promise to make you climax every night." People nowadays were really realistic. Not only women but even men were like this. "Honey, when did I not keep my words?" Fei Futai's face was intoxicated, but soon, her face turned ashen. "But I'm warning you. If I hear you call me fat woman again, I'll castrate you. Don't think that I'm scaring you. Do you understand?" "Dear, I was angry just now. You know, what I love the most is your fullness." The first rule of being a gigolo was that not only did his mouth have to be good, but it also had to be sweet, as if he had eaten honey all day long. Otherwise, only taking off half of his body was not enough to make the rich woman happy. The intimate conversation between the two of them really made the others feel nauseous. Beside the fat man, a petite woman sobbed. "Godfather, if it were you, would you spend money to save my life?" "Silly girl, of course I would." Big Explosion's rough palm moved up and down the petite woman's waist. "Don't talk about 1 million, even if it was 10 million, I would be willing to pay for you. If it wasn't for the young woman's quick mouth, I would have snatched it and paid to save your life." The petite woman acted coquettishly and rubbed on Big Explosion's body. "Godfather, you're so annoying. I saved you 4 million. Can you also change my car when you go back? I want to be like Mei Mei, driving a Maserati. That broken Mini will only attract the attention of the poor at most. Rich people don't care about it. Although the Maserati is not bad, the space is too small. How about I change it to a BMW X5? Big Explosion seemed to be in a good mood, so he was generous. The petite woman moaned and said with a blushing face, "Godfather, you're so annoying. Why do you need such a big space? You just want it to be convenient when you do it with me." No, I want the Maserati. I want it. Okay. We'll talk about it when we get off the plane." Big Explosion enjoyed the petite woman's moaning. Lin Gu let out a long sigh and said to Su Yun, F***CK, "Brother, look at what kind of people we saved in the cabin. None of them are good people. If I had known, I wouldn't have helped them at all. Let them bleed a little and learn a little lesson. I can't take it anymore. I'm sick of it." Su Yun smiled and shook his head. He looked at the two robbers lying at their feet. This was agreed by everyone, including the flight attendants, because only they could intimidate the two robbers. "We've already done good. If we say these things that make them unhappy, wouldn't it be a waste of effort? Lin Suin said, Little pigeon, you should learn from your brother. Calm down. Lin Gu was not afraid of others hearing it. What? If it wasn't for me, they would have peed in their pants. You don't even allow me to complain. SK. Needless to say, no one dared to say anything about Lin Gu. They weren't grateful, but after witnessing Lin Ji's aggressiveness, they knew that this kid wasn't simple. He wasn't an ordinary person. No one was willing to get themselves into trouble. Lin Suin smiled faintly and looked at the clouds outside the window. We haven't even gotten off the plane and we've already encountered such an interesting thing. It seems that my trip this time is really worth it. When you get off the plane, you'll definitely like the mainland more. Su Yun closed his eyes again. You'll definitely fall in love with the great mountains and rivers of your motherland. Hee, but before that, I'm afraid that the beautiful flight attendant will fall in love with our little pigeon first. Lin Gu blushed. Brother, don't talk nonsense. You'll be a joke if others hear it. Sleep, sleep. Everyone, don't talk. Seeing the three people who had subdued the robbers close their eyes and take a nap, the others were not so calm. They all stared at the two robbers, afraid that they would suddenly stand up energetically and start a new round of robbing them. Chapter 776. They were about 2 hours away from Shenzhong International Airport. To a certain extent, these officials and nobles who had yet to land and feel safe were unable to completely relax, except for the fat tycoon. His way of looking at the problem was different from the others. While the others were looking at the two unconscious robbers, he was curious about the 2 men and 1 woman who subdued the robbers. The tycoon had seen many people in his life, and he had also hired many world-class bodyguards. Therefore, he had every reason to suspect that Su Yun and Lin Gu were super bodyguards, and Lin Suin, who could afford to hire them, was the person he was most curious about. A girl with a heavy accent and 2 super bodyguards on the plane, her background was definitely not ordinary. Moreover, in the 5 to 6 days that the tycoon had been traveling in Taiwan, those enchanting hostesses he had seen were all vulgar compared to the one in front of him. She had a family background and was so stunning. No matter how Taiwan was, only the eldest daughter of the Lin family of the Three Lotus Association was worthy of such an aura. Excuse me, may I disturb you? The tycoon's question was met with dissatisfaction from the petite girl beside him. After all, Lin Suin was better than her in terms of figure, appearance, and temperament. Su Yun and Lin Gu were resting with their eyes closed. Hearing the tycoon's conversation with Lin Suin, they ignored him. In their opinion, at least no one on the plane would dare to do anything to Lin Suin. Although the tycoon was obviously a tycoon with a much higher net worth than the others, he was still someone who would throw money away to save his life in front of the robbers. No. Lin Suin rejected him quite straightforwardly. The tycoon smiled embarrassedly. Miss, you misunderstood me. I don't have any bad intentions, but I just want to ask. Are you the eldest daughter of the Three Lotus Association? Lin Suin frowned slightly and ignored the tycoon who had guessed the truth. After Su Yun and Lin Gu heard this, they stopped resting with their eyes closed. Lin Gu unceremoniously shot him a warning look, which made the fat and big-eared local tycoon feel goosebumps all over his body. Little brothers, I don't have any other intentions. I just want to make friends with you 2 heroic youths. As the nouveau riche spoke, he took out a name card with golden edges from his pocket and handed it over. My name is Jean Kwong. Ha, there's a Kwong next to the Wong character, but many leaders and old friends like to joke around and call me Jean Kwong. Although my name is Jean Kwong, I'm actually in the coal mining business. This is my business card. Lin Gu didn't care if the other party was a coal mine boss or not. He refused. We are not interested in making friends with a coal mine boss. You should rest and save your energy. When the plane arrives at the station, you still have to explain to the police how much black heart ore you used to earn your gold necklace and ring. Ha, little brother, I'm not the owner of a small black mine. The rich coal boss, Jean Kwong, said, "I'm the chairman of the Hong Tai Group." Hong Tai Group? Su Yun, who had been silent all this time, suddenly frowned. The Hong Tai coal mine was in Nanjiang Province, which was west of Shenzhen City. It could be said that it was the largest coal mine in the entire eastern China. The Hong Tai Group didn't only have coal mining businesses under its control. They had many subsidiaries, such as real estate and financial investment, which were profitable businesses. They even had a small pet food factory. Therefore, when Jean Kwong handed over his business card and introduced himself, he appeared to be quite confident. This was because he lived in this society every day. 99.9% of the people wanted to be friends with him, and they were all proud to know him. There was even a group of people who had nothing to do with him, and they liked to brag about his achievements, as if they knew him personally. But today, Boss Jean was really met with a nose full of dust. Lin Gu didn't intend to give him face. "I don't care what kind of chairman you are. I'll only warn you once. Don't disturb our show. Pigeon, don't be so rude." Su Yun suddenly interrupted Lin Gu. This made Lin Gu very curious because Su Yun wasn't the kind of coward who would look up to people with power and money. "Brother." Lin Gu was a little confused. Su Yun signaled him with his eyes to not interrupt. Su Yun didn't have any intention of befriending Boss Jean in front of him, but he was quite concerned about the Hong Tai coal mine. This was because he remembered very clearly that when Ruan Qingxuang was investigating her brother, she received news that the Hong Tai coal mine was recruiting people, so her brother left his hometown. After such a long time, there was no sign of him alive or dead. Although Ruan Qingxuang never said anything, she definitely couldn't let go of this matter in her heart. Even if it was confirmed that her brother was dead, it was better than not being able to find him. He didn't expect to meet the big boss of the Hong Tai Group today. "Boss Jean, it's fate." Su Yun smiled slightly and took the business card Jean Kwong handed over with both hands. "I haven't heard your name in a long time. Now that I've met you today, you have an imposing appearance and an extraordinary temperament." Jean Kwong was stunned by the sudden change in attitude of this young man in front of him. Even if he didn't have much experience, he had lived for so long and could see the simplest problem. This young man in front of him who treated him well, in terms of age and prestige, was higher than the kid who didn't even bother to look at him. Hello. I still don't know this little brother's name." I don't participate in the Three Lotus Society's business matters. Everyone in the Three Lotus Society knows this. If Boss Jean really has something to say, and if the new president of our Three Lotus Association is interested, I won't stop you. When Jean Kwong heard this, his interest was immediately piqued. "Then, Miss Lin, can you tell me who the new president of the Three Lotus Society is?" "It's the person in front of you." Lin Suyin glanced at Su Yun. She seemed to be telling him that she would let him handle everything. If Lin Suyin hadn't noticed Su Yun's interest in Hong Tai coal mine, she wouldn't have bothered with Boss Jean. Jean Kwong was stunned. He looked at Su Yun, completely dumbfounded. This young man in front of him? The new president of the Three Lotus Society. He thought that Su Yun wasn't ordinary, but that was only because Su Yun was Miss Lin's bodyguard. He didn't expect Su Yun to be the new president. Oh my God! Jean Kwong was stunned for a long time before he regained his composure. "Boss Jean, although I don't know what kind of collaboration you want to discuss, the Three Lotus Society doesn't have the time right now." However, the Three Lotus Society doesn't have the time. Su Yun said calmly. "However, I believe that we still have a chance." Of course. Jean Kwong said, "I wonder if President Su can give me your contact information. If you have time." "Boss Jean, I will call you if I have time." Su Yun waved Jean Kwong's name card. "Also, I might have some small matters that I want to work with you on." "Haha, but this isn't the place to talk about it. Let's keep in touch." Jean Kwong nodded. "If President Su needs my help, I will definitely not refuse." Jean Kwong wasn't stupid. In recent years, the coal business had been difficult. The mineral resources were decreasing and the cost of coal washing was high. Even during this period, he had been doing business at a loss. Through some information, he found out that there was an extremely rich mine in the mountainous area of Taiwan. The quality of the coal was also quite good. After arranging for experts to secretly explore it several times, he obtained a very certain answer. Taking over that mine was very important to him. However, it wasn't easy to open up a mine in Taiwan. All kinds of things were enough to give Jean Kwong a headache. Later, he found out through some channels that if the Three Lotus Association were to help him, it would be a piece of cake for him to take over that place and open up the mine there. That was why he prepared to go to Taiwan to meet President Lin of the Three Lotus Society. Chapter 777. Originally, Jean Kwong had decided to return home and put this matter aside for a year. However, he didn't expect to meet the new president and Miss Lin on the plane. How could he not grab this opportunity? One must know that a year of losses was quite a terrifying number for him. Now, the workers in his company were complaining because their wages were reduced by a third. In a year's time, the challenge he faced was even greater. The stewardess who was held hostage by the robbers just now returned after comforting the other passengers on the plane. She held 3 cups of hot coffee in her hands and walked straight to Su Yun and the rest. First, she passed a cup to Lin Suin, then to Su Yun, and finally to Lin Gu. She smiled at Lin Gu and said, "Thank you very much for what you did just now." You're welcome. It's what I should do." Lin Gu was a little embarrassed facing the beautiful smile of the stewardess. He couldn't resist the uniform of a stewardess, especially when this stewardess had such a good figure. How could a boy soldier like him remain calm? Su Yun and Lin Suin saw Lin Ji's embarrassment and couldn't help but laugh out loud. Su Yun whispered in Lin Suin's ear, "Seems like our little pigeon Spring is here. Do you dare to make a bet with me?" The stewardess must have taken a liking to this kid. "Do you even need to say that? It's not like I didn't see it." Lin Suin looked at Lin Ji's slightly red face and said, "And I dare to bet that not only did the stewardess take a liking to him, this kid seems to be quite interesting too." She didn't even say anything. She just gave him a cup of coffee and his face was almost like a monkey's but. "Where is Spring? Where is Spring?" "Spring is dripping in the coffee on the play," Su Yun hummed in a low voice. This was a good thing. Lin Suin also followed Su Yun and cheered, "Where is Spring? Where is Spring?" "Spring is in the arms of the flight attendant." Lin Gu couldn't stand Su Yun and Lin Suin's jokes. He blushed and said to the two of them, "If the two of you continue to make noise, I will open the cabin door and throw the two of you out." "You're already so old. Why are you making a fuss?" "Seriously? All right. Other people need money to sing, but you two need lives to sing. Hurry up and take a break. You'll wake these 2 idiot robbers up later." The stewardess's face was also slightly red, but she didn't seem angry at all. "If you need anything, just press the bell and let me know. I'll come over immediately." Okay. "I'll refill it later." Su Yun said generously, "His name is Lin Gu. His mind isn't clear right now. You don't have to put sugar in the coffee later. Otherwise, his heart will be too sweet." "My name is Feng Ya." After the stewardess finished speaking, she ran away with a red face. Lin Gu was so embarrassed that he was too embarrassed to raise his head to look at the flight attendant. He turned back and made a strangling action. "Brother, do you know what I want to do now? I want to strangle you to death. TSK. When you realize that you're in love, you'll thank your brother." It was rare for Lin Suin to have such a happy smile during this period of time. Her godbrother was recognized by her father. Seeing that something happy happened to him was also a happy thing for Lin Suin. Lin Gu looked at Lin Suin with a bitter smile. "Sister, you and my brother are teaming up to tease me." All right. "I know that the two of you are wearing the same pants. I can't win against you. I won't mess with you. Then you and the flight attendant can wear the same pants and mess with us. That way, you won't be at a disadvantage." After Su Yun finished speaking, he laughed a few times. He was indeed in a bad mood during this period of time. Laughing out loud made him feel much better. Although Jean Kwong, who was sitting at the side, didn't interrupt, he got a lot of information from the conversation. First, the relationship between Miss Lin and Su Yun was very ambiguous. Wearing the same pants was enough to make people's imagination run wild. If that was the case, if he wanted to have a good relationship with Su Yun in the future, he definitely couldn't bring him to meet women in front of Miss Lin. Even letting the princess in the KTV box serve him wine would be a taboo. Second, this young man named Lin Guo. Although he was performing his duty as a bodyguard, he was definitely not a bodyguard. How could he call Miss Lin as her brother and dare to tell the new president to strangle him to death? This brat was definitely an equal member of their side, and definitely not a hired subordinate or something like that. This made Jean Kwong understand that if he wanted to settle the mine in Taiwan, not only did he have to have a good relationship with Su Yun and Miss Lin, he also had to have a good relationship with this young man who was suspected to be President Su's brother-in-law or Miss Lin's brother-in-law. They joked harmoniously and also eased the tense atmosphere in the cabin. Every 20 minutes or so, the security members of the cabin crew would come here to check on the two stupid robbers who were still unconscious. The flight attendant named Fong Ye would come here every half an hour or so to ask if they needed anything. However, Su Yun and Lin Suin insisted that she was looking for an excuse to see her sweetheart, little Lin Gu. Lin Gu argued at the beginning, but later on, he was too lazy to care about their jokes. However, every time Fong Ye came, he would always blush. In Su Yun's words, "A Boy Scout is a Boy Scout." From what you said, you seem to have stopped being a Boy Scout a long time ago. Lin Suin's words, whether intentional or not, directly transferred Lin Ji's embarrassment to Su Yun. Su Yun did not know how to answer. There was no way to explain this matter. Moreover, he was not a Boy Scout in the first place. He could neither admit nor lie, right? Fortunately, there was still about half an hour before the plane landed. A few flight attendants and security personnel came over and broke the awkwardness. "Mr. Lin, we have already contacted the ground. The police are already prepared at the airport," the flight attendant said. The flight attendant said, "The police are taking this matter very seriously. Several leaders from the bureau are at the scene because this has never happened on our flight before." Su Yun smiled slightly. "You can contact the ground and let them pass on the message to the police leaders. Don't let them be so nervous. The two robbers have already lost their fighting spirit. They won't wake up for a while. One police car and 2 people can solve this matter. I have already told them that the robbers have already fainted. But the police still feel that it is necessary to be careful." The security personnel scratched his head and smiled. Lin Gu crossed his legs and said, "It's useless to say that. It's better to let your ground service staff pass on the message to the police leaders. Just tell them that Su Yun and Lin Gu are on this flight. The police will definitely not be nervous at all." Fong Ye came with the flight attendants and security personnel. She had been standing at the back, so Lin Gu did not see her at all. Hearing Lin Ji's words, she said in surprise, "Are you guys special police? The leaders of the police know you. That's amazing." Seeing Fong Ye's admiring gaze, Lin Gu hurriedly put down his legs and sat up straight. "No. I'm not a special police officer, but I know all the leaders of the police force. We had a meal together. That's all." "Forget it. Let them wait. I guess Qin Wan-er is also at the scene." Su Yun smiled slightly. "We are almost at our destination. I am tired from sitting all the way. I need to take a bath at night to rest." Jean Kwong promptly extended an invitation. "Chairman Su, how about this? After we get off the plane, I will arrange everything for you. I have arranged for someone to pick me up anyway. Let's have dinner together, sing songs together at night, take a bath at the best bath center, and have a massage to relax." In the face of Jean Kwong's invitation, Su Yun directly declined. "Boss Jean, you are too polite. We will be home when we reach Shenzhen. Speaking of which, I should be the host. But I am really sorry. I have other things to do. When I have time, I will make an appointment with Boss Jean. Okay. I will wait for your call. Jean Kwong said, I welcome your call 24 hours a day. Not for business, but to make friends with you. Hey. Of course. Su Yun smiled politely. If it was not for business, how could you be so attentive? Obviously, San Lien would be able to help him with something that would bring him a lot of benefits. Otherwise, he would not be so flattering. Since it was like this, as long as he confirmed the mine where Jean Kwong's brother was working, he could ask Jean Kwong to help him find him. After the flight attendants left, Lin Suin suddenly said, Who is Chin Won? Is she the beauty that made you lose your status as a Boy Scout? This really made Su Yun break out in a cold sweat. What the heck? It has already been a few minutes. Why is she still hopping on it? Su Yun was speechless. Don't talk nonsense. Chin Won is one of the top 3 in the Shenzhen police force. You can't joke about this. I don't care who she is. I just want to know if you have a relationship with her. After Lin Suin finished speaking, she looked at Lin Gu. Pigeon, you follow your brother every day. Don't tell me you don't know? Su Yun looked at Lin Gu for help. As long as Lin Gu said no, it was not a matter of lying. However, Lin Gu grabbed the opportunity to take revenge. He looked at Su Yun proudly. He meant to say, Who asked you to make fun of me again? He laughed and shook his head. I follow my brother every day, but we are not gay. We don't sleep on the same bed. I really don't know about his private life. F***ck. Don't take revenge on me. Tell me the truth. Su Yun did not know whether to laugh or cry. Brother Lin shrugged his shoulders. This is the truth. Lin Suin glanced at Su Yun. It's okay if you admit it. I'm not that kind of person. After all, my thoughts are more open than yours. It's okay if you admit it. However, I don't accept others lying to me. At this time, the plane was about to land. Su Yun finally avoided this problem. He did not know whether it was right or wrong to bring Lin Suin back to the mainland. Sai, who asked him to be so unlucky. He was destined to fall in love with women. It was Gu Zueren's crow's mouth. When Su Yun was only 3 years old, he said that he would definitely fall in love with women. He was destined to be entangled with all kinds of women. Su Yun really hoped that Gu Zueren's words were nonsense. However, it seemed that the clairvoyant was indeed a clairvoyant. 3 years old could see the old. After some turbulence, the plane finally landed at Shenzhen Airport. However, the 2 robbers were still unconscious and did not react at all. All the passengers did not get off the plane. The police were the first to rush up. Under the lead of the flight attendants, they took the 2 unconscious criminals away from the first-class cabin. At this time, Chin Wan Ma Zhongbang, and other police leaders who got on the plane with their subordinates opened their eyes wide. They looked at Su Yun and exclaimed, Su Yun, is it you? Su Yun pointed at Lin Gu. He took care of them. If you want to cooperate with the investigation, bring him back. Chin Wan rolled her eyes speechlessly. Okay, don't go back to the hotel first. Follow me back to cooperate with the investigation. After that, Chin Wan looked at Lin Suin and was a little confused. I'm Lin Suin. Lin Suin's accent easily revealed her identity. It's a pleasure to have friends from afar. Chin Wan smiled embarrassedly. But now, I have to trouble you to follow them back to the police station with me. Okay. Lin Suin nodded. When no one was paying attention, she whispered in Su Yun's ear in the lowest voice, Do you like big breasts? Chapter 778. In Lin Suin's view, Su Yun's reputation in Shenzhen was really not small. If it was someone who acted bravely for justice and caught the hijackers, the police would invite them back to the station for investigation, and then write a letter of appreciation to the unit and send a silk banner. But Su Yun was absolutely different. The head of the police station, Ma Zhongbang, personally invited Su Yun and the others to get into his car. Obviously, he thought highly of Su Yun. Originally, Chong had also received the notice to pick them up at the airport. After seeing Su Yun and Qin Wan come out together, he was obviously very surprised. "Brother Yun, what's the situation? The big leaders came to pick you up personally? Did they ask you to do something risky again?" "It's nothing. I will tell you when I have time." "Su Yun, you go back to the hotel first. Later, Deputy Bureau Chief Qin will arrange someone to send us back." Right, Wan You just caught 2 hijackers. Do you have to be so proud? For you, it's just a matter of convenience. How else do you want me to thank you on behalf of the people? Qin Wan rolled her eyes at Su Yun. "You go and take Bureau Chief Ma's car. Otherwise, he will think that I stole his face and his limelight." After that, Qin Wan muttered to herself, "You really encounter all kinds of things." Chong gave a thumbs up. "Brother Yun, you are awesome. You even dare to catch hijackers. I admire you. Then I will go back and tell the brothers that I will wait for you to come back." "Right, Brother Chong, arrange a better room for my sister," Lin Gu said to Chong. "Use the highest level of hospitality to receive my sister." Lin Gu looked at Lin Suin as he spoke. He signaled to Chong. This time, they came back not only with the 2 of them, but also with guests. "Okay, I got it." When Chong saw Lin Suin, he was stunned. This temperament was absolutely shocking. Brother Yun was indeed Brother Yun. There was never a lack of stunning and exquisite women around him. He didn't know that the beauty who came to Shenzhen with Su Yun was Miss Lin of the Three Lotus Association. She was known as the most beautiful woman in Taiwan. Not only did Su Yun have to go to the police station to cooperate with the investigation, but the 4 people who were robbed also had to cooperate with the police to give a statement, including the fat woman, the charming woman, the gold-rimmed glasses man, and the explosion of Hong Tai Cole, Jean Kwang. Were all invited to the police station. This time, the police station's entourage was quite vast. Behind the police cars were luxury cars. The fat woman's 7 Series BMW, the gold-rimmed glasses man's Porsche Cayenne, and the charming woman's Audi A7. Of course, the most eye-catching car was the explosion of Jean Kwang's Barbossa custom-made Super 6-wheeled pickup truck. That truck looked like armor. The Ford Raptor pickup truck that Su Yun drove before paled in comparison to this car. Jean Kwang's car was definitely worth more than 10 million. It was probably some kind of Bentley. He was tired of sitting in Rolls-Royce. Otherwise, he wouldn't have bought such an extravagant pickup truck. Su Yun finally understood why Jean Kwang's little girlfriend, oh no, his goddaughter, dared to ask him for a Maserati. In Jean Kwang's eyes, this 3 to 5 million was probably just a drop in the ocean. With the current operating cost of the coal mine, plus the cost of washing the coal and running the relationship, Jean Kwang's loss in a day was not less than the cost of a Maserati. After everyone arrived at the police station, they were taken to record their statements. Then, they took back their jewelry and cash from the police. The people who were robbed all chose to deny one thing, which was that they were forced to take millions of dollars. After Su Yun and the others were done, Qin Wan arranged for a police officer to drive them back to Xinkai Hotel. At this time, Jean Kwang, who was not done, immediately called the driver waiting for him outside and asked him to call a car to follow the police car that sent Su Yun back and see where they lived. Jean Kwang did not want to miss the opportunity to socialize with Su Yun. After everyone was done with their business, Jean Kwang went to his Barbossa pickup truck, which had been surrounded by countless people in the courtyard of the police station, and took out some things. The big boss was indeed the big boss. He was generous. He and his goddaughter used their connections in the police station. Whenever they met someone, they would directly stuff 2 boxes of cigarettes into their hands. Police officers, it's been hard on you. Society is so peaceful and united because of you. For the people in the police station, including the leaders, a day's salary was not enough to buy 2 cartons of cigarettes. As the saying goes, one's hand is soft, one's mouth is short. Basically, everyone was smiling at Jean Kwang. Even when Jin Kwang asked them about Ma Zhongbang and Qin Wan-er's office, they did not hesitate to tell Jin Kwang. Jin Kwang knocked on Ma Zhongbang's office. After getting permission, he directly opened the door and entered. When Ma Zhongbang saw Jin Kwang, he was slightly surprised. "Boss Jin, is there anything else?" "Thank you for today's matter, Chief Ma. I don't have anything else. I just went to Taiwan and brought some specialties. It's just a small gift." "Chief Ma, don't be so polite. I'll put it on the table for you." After Jin Kwang finished speaking, he put an exquisite box on the table. Without waiting for Ma Zhongbang to speak, Jin Kwang first said goodbye. "Chief Ma, I know you are very busy. You go ahead. I'll be in Shenzhen for a while. He. I'll invite you for tea another day." Jin Kwang dealt with officials from all over the country. He was already a cunning old fox. He was very clear about the principle of not inviting people to a meal when they met for the first time. Now that anti-corruption were so tight, who would dare to invite people to a meal when they met for the first time without understanding the situation? After Jin Kwang left the office, Ma Zhongbang opened the small box on the table with a puzzled expression. He was really curious about the specialties of Taiwan inside. When he opened it, Ma Zhongbang was dumbfounded. A worldwide watch. And with one look, he could tell that it was not a common item. It was obviously a luxury item that cost a lot. Ma Zhongbang slammed the box shut and then silently put it in his drawer and locked it. He was not stupid enough to wear such an expensive watch. It was not that no one had taken off their official position because of the watchgate. This kind of expensive watch, it was better to give it away when he needed it. Anyway, he did not spend his own money to buy it. He would not feel distressed if he gave it away. After Jin Kwang dealt with Ma Zhongbang, he went to Qin Wan-er's office. Facing Boss Jin's visit, Qin Wan-er was obviously a little surprised. "Boss Jin, is there anything you haven't figured out?" No, absolutely not." Ma Zhongbang said, "Your service attitude and work efficiency are much better than our police comrades in Nanjiang." He, Chief Qin, I just want to thank you. I don't have any other intentions. I didn't buy anything when I went to Taiwan. On the way, I saw a few nice bags. You worked hard today, so this is for you." After Jin Kwang finished speaking, the woman beside him reluctantly put a brand new donkey, LV, limited edition bag on Qin Wan-er's desk. "Boss Jin, you are too polite. I don't need this. You should take it back." Qin Wan-er said, "What I did was what we should do. You are bribing me. Before I get angry, you should take it back quickly." No. Chief Qin, I really don't mean to bribe you. How much can a bag be worth, right? It's just a small token of my appreciation." Jin Kwang said, "I really don't mean anything else. Really, Chief Qin, don't misunderstand my good intentions." Qin Wan-er smiled slightly. "Just take it that I misunderstood you. But you still have to take your bag back. Although I don't know much about luxury goods, I am a woman after all. This limited edition LV can't be bought without tens of thousands of yuan. I know this. If you take the bag back, I can help you with anything. If you don't take the bag back, take it back. Jin Kwang immediately changed his way of dealing with it. "Chief Qin, to be honest, I really do have something to ask of you." Qin Wan-er frowned. "What is it?" Jin Kwang shook his head. "It's definitely not against the rules. It's just personal. Chief Qin, I'll be frank. I saw that you have a good relationship with Mr. Su Yun. I want to get to know Mr. Su through you. I really don't have any other intentions. I chatted with Mr. Su on the plane, but who knew that someone would hijack the plane? I forgot to ask for Mr. Su's phone number. So, you want to ask for Su Yun's phone number from me?" Qin Wan-er was stunned. "You had the chance to ask for it from him just now. I'm an honest person. I haven't been to the police station many times. I forgot when I got nervous." Jin Kwang smiled. Chief Chin, you don't know. If I owe someone a favor, I can't sleep. I have to thank Mr. Su in person. Otherwise, I won't be able to eat or sleep in peace for the rest of my life. Chief Chin, this is a personal matter. It doesn't involve any violation of the law. Don't you think so? Chin Wan thought about it. That was true. You just want to thank him? Yes, I just want to call him to thank him. Chief Chin, please help me. Fulfill my wish. Jean Kwong begged again. Chin Wan couldn't resist Jean Kwong's pleading. She gave him Su Yun's phone number. Jean Kwong thanked her again and again. He tried to get Chin Wan to leave the bag. But when he mentioned the bag, Chin Wan got angry. Jean Kwong could only take the bag that he didn't give and leave. When the nouveau riche boss left, it could be said that the entire police station was sending him off. Basically, everyone was holding the supreme honor that he had given them. How could they not have a good impression of him? Jean Kwong opened the window and waved, as if he was a leader going out. He signaled to his comrades that he had worked hard. After leaving the police station, Jean Kwong called the driver and asked, "What's the situation now?" The driver said, "They just entered Xing Kai Hotel. The staff here seemed to be familiar with them. They didn't register and went straight upstairs. Maybe there's a room already prepared? Book a room for me at the hotel immediately. I'll rush over now." Jean Kwong said, "If you can find out which floor their room was on from the front desk and arrange a room nearby, that would be even better. I'll leave this to you. You have to do it well." "Yes, Chief Jean. I'll do it right away." Jean Kwong hung up the phone and said to his goddaughter, "Baby, we're not going back to Nanjiang today. Godfather will bring you to stay in the best 5-star hotel in Shenzhen. At night, we'll sit by the window and enjoy the night view. Then, we'll be loving. Ha ha ha. Then you have to prepare well. Don't break the record of 11 seconds every time." Chapter 779. Su Yun didn't relax even after returning to Shenzhen. He didn't know when Lang Chen would appear. After returning to his room and putting down his things, he called Ruan Qingshuang and told her about his return. Ruan Qingshuang had been worried about Su Yun's situation for the past few days. Ruan Qingshuang also told Su Yun that the renovation of the Qingdao Film Plaza was nearing completion. After Zhua Meiyan left Taiwan, she didn't return to Jibei. Instead, she went straight to Qingdao. Thus, Ruan Qingshuang had a certain understanding of what had happened in Taiwan. It wasn't because Zhua Meiyan was talkative. It was because Ruan Qingshuang kept asking too much. After chatting for a while, Ruan Qingshuang asked a question that Su Yun didn't know how to answer. Then, "Did Miss Lin from the Three Lotus Club come to Shenzhen with you?" "Yes." Su Yun nodded and didn't deny it. After such a big thing happened to the Three Lotus Club, she really needs to relax. President Lin must have asked you to take care of Miss Lin for the rest of her life. What do you plan to do? Ruan Qingshuang asked calmly. Will you still go back to Taiwan in the future? Zhua Meiyan told me that you're now the president of the Three Lotus Club. It seems that the Three Lotus Club and the patriotic organization are inextricably linked. Will you be like President Lin and do things for the greater good? Su Yun replied straightforwardly, "Maybe I'm not as righteous as President Lin. Fortunately, the biggest threat to the Three Lotus Club and the patriotic organization has been eliminated. I don't think I need to stay in Taiwan for too long. Of course, if they encounter any trouble and need my help, I'll still do it. Even if it's not for Guagua, I'll do it for you. If you say you won't do it, then you're not yourself." Ruan Qingshuang smiled slightly. Her tolerance made Su Yun speechless. "Then you take good care of Miss Lin and rest well. When you're free, come to Qingdao and have a look. I think Sky Entertainment Group needs you to take over." "All right." Su Yun agreed. "By the way, I have one more thing to ask you. It's about your brother." Ruan Qingshuang had mixed feelings when she heard this. "I've been asking around, but I haven't gotten any useful information." Su Yun. You don't have to comfort me. I'm already prepared to accept reality. Right now, I only hope that even if I die, I can be buried in my ancestral grave. If I remember correctly, the last time you asked around, your brother was working in a legitimate mine under Hong Tai Group, right? Su Yun asked. Ruan Qingxuang nodded. Yes, but I've always doubted the accuracy of this information. If it was a legitimate mine like Hong Tai Group, even if something happened, they would have dealt with it through proper channels. Now, I don't even know if he's alive or dead. I suspect that he's not working at Hong Tai Mine. It's those small private black mines. After all, the wages there are higher. Trust me, whether he's at Hong Tai or one of those small private mines, I'll find the answer for you, Su Yun said. And I'll find it soon. By chance, I met the boss of Hong Tai Group, Jean Kwang. Ruan Qingxuang was slightly startled. She really didn't expect Su Yun to say this. After all, Su Yun had never expressed his opinion on this matter. Of course, Ruan Qingxuang knew Su Yun well. He wouldn't make promises that he wasn't sure of. That was why he never told her about this matter. Now that he said this, it was obvious that he was confident. You're going to Nanjiang to ask Hong Tai's boss? Ruan Qingxuang asked. I don't need to go to Nanjiang. Hong Tai's boss will come to me. Su Yun smiled. He held the gold-stamped business card that Jean Kwang handed to him and said, I'll contact you when I have the news. Just keep a good attitude and relax. Ruan Qingxuang nodded. Well, then you should take care of yourself. Remember to call me if there's anything. About half an hour later, Lin Suyin also changed her clothes and walked out of the suite that they had arranged for her. It was definitely a VIP reception. It was the most luxurious presidential suite in Xingkai. Perhaps only such a standard could be worthy of the big miss of the Three Lotus Society. Lin Ge was waiting for Lin Suyin at the door early in the morning. When he saw her walk out, he went forward and said, You must be hungry. Let's go and try our hotel's signature medicinal cuisine. This hotel is yours? Lin Suyin was thinking about this question when she was changing her clothes in the room. It seemed that Su Yun was more mysterious than she thought. Shenzhen can be considered as an international metropolis. To own such a hotel here, your financial strength must be quite strong. At this time, Su Yun pushed open the door and walked out of the room. Consider it as helping a friend. We're just helping her to take care of it while she's busy. Lin Suyin glanced at Su Yun. She didn't believe his words. What kind of friend trusts you so much? She even dares to let you take care of it? Sister, don't underestimate my brother's trust. Take you for example. Just like how you trust my brother, didn't you also dare to let him take care of the Three Lotus Society? Lin Ge said. This kind of trust is indescribable, isn't it? Lin Suyin nodded in realization. Then, with a look of understanding, she nodded. It seems that the real owner of this hotel is a successful career woman. Su Yun glanced at Lin Ge. Less talk, more work. If you have the time, why don't you go down and see how they're doing? Forget it, I said too much. Lin Ge grinned and walked in front. Lin Suyin glanced at Su Yun. You have a rich life. No wonder you're willing to stay in Taiwan. It seems that you have a lot of secrets that I don't know. Su Yun shrugged and said indifferently, I'm afraid you don't know anything about the mainland. I naturally have my own reasons for not staying in Taiwan. Don't misunderstand. I don't want you to explain anything. Lin Suyin said. After all, according to the current situation, I'm the one who intruded into your life. I'm very clear about this. Perhaps at the beginning, I thought that you were the one who ruined my life. But now that I think about it, it's actually you who saved my life. I'm the trouble. Don't say that. Su Yun said. I don't think of you as a burden or trouble. Lin Suyin smiled. I know. It's just that I think of myself as a burden and trouble. Just as the three of them were about to go for dinner, Jean Kwang walked over. Ioyo, What a coincidence. Isn't this Chairman Su and Miss Lin? Why, you're also staying here. Jean Kwong slapped his thigh and said with an exaggerated expression. It was as if he had encountered a once-in-a-lifetime coincidence. Actually, he already knew. When he asked the driver to arrange the rooms, he asked around. The receptionist wouldn't lie. If she said that Su Yun was the boss here, then it must be the case. In an instant, Jean Kwong's view of Su Yun had a 360-degree change. Previously, he thought that this young man had gotten to his position by chance. But now, it seemed that this wasn't the case. This young man's ability was probably a few hundred streets ahead of his peers. Boss Jean. Su Yun was also very surprised. Although he knew that Jean Kwong would definitely find him, he didn't expect this guy to act so quickly. Why is it you? Jean Kwong continued his exaggerated performance. I encountered such a big incident on the plane and panicked. After leaving the police station, I wanted to rest, so I came here to book a room. I didn't expect Chairman Su to book a room here too. What is this called? This is called no story without coincidence. Since we're fated to meet today, let me treat you to a meal. He, Boss Jean, since it's such a coincidence, how can I let you pay the bill? Su Yun said lightly. If he didn't need Jean Kwong's help, of course he would have taken advantage of this rich guy. Since you're already staying in Shinkai, then I have to do my part as a host. Jean Kwong didn't expect Su Yun to admit that this hotel was his. His eyes rolled. Chairman Su, what do you mean? Could this hotel? Boss Jean, you can stop acting. Lin Gu shrugged. Your performance was too exaggerated. I wanted to believe that you weren't faking it, but it was hard for me to believe. I won't expose that you deliberately arranged this coincidence. Don't pretend that you don't know the relationship between this hotel and us. Jean Kwong laughed awkwardly. Lin Gu bluntly revealed everything, making him feel a little embarrassed. He's always like that. Boss Jean, don't mind him. Su Yun, let's go. I've already arranged dinner. 2 more people means 2 more pairs of chopsticks. Chairman Su, then I'm really sorry. Jean Kwong had a good impression of Su Yun. At least Su Yun left him some face, unlike Lin Gu who spoke so ruthlessly. No matter what, he was still a big boss of Hong Tai. In front of a young man, it wouldn't be right if he didn't give him some face. Su Yun smiled. Boss Jean, I'm not treating you to this meal for free. Ha, I also want to ask you something. Jean Kwong nodded. As long as I know, I'll definitely tell you everything. Chairman Su, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Not to mention that Su Yun was treating, even if he was the one treating, he would do whatever Su Yun asked him to do without hesitation. Only by maintaining his friendship with Su Yun could he talk about opening a mine in Taiwan. Su Yun extended his hand and made an inviting gesture. Then, I'll thank Boss Jean in advance. Please. Everyone went all the way to the dining table. Changzi and Little Dong Bei had arranged everything. What surprised Changzi was that they had originally said that they were only going to accompany a distinguished guest, but now there was an additional man and woman. Long time no see. Lin Suyin smiled and greeted Little Dong Bei when she saw him. Little Dong Bei chuckled. Hello, Miss Lin. After tasting our medicinal cuisine today, I guarantee that you won't find anything more delicious than this. You're quite confident. Our sister doesn't eat for the sake of eating. Beauty is the most important thing. Lin Gu said from the side. Then, he lowered his voice and pointed at Jean Kwong to Little Northeast. Do you see that fatty? In a while, our brother will ask him what he wants. If he doesn't answer honestly, we'll cripple him. Chapter 780. Boss Jean, I'll be frank with you. Today, I'm sitting with you because I hope you can help me find out about a person who works at Hong Tai coal mine. Su Yun said, if Boss Jean is willing to be friends with me. Chairman Su, I will definitely show you 100% sincerity to be friends with you. Jean Kwong sat on the chair, his round belly almost touching the table. You only need to tell me his name. Of course, it would be even better if you could tell me which department he is in. I promise I'll immediately call the HR department to check. I'll give you an answer within 5 minutes. His name is Ruan Chao. He's an ordinary worker. Su Yun pointed at Lin Gu. He's about the same age as him. Jean Kwong looked at Lin Gu and touched his chin. If he's so young, it seems like he hasn't been working at Hong Tai for long. Then, Jean Kwong called his assistant and ordered, "Get the HR department to check on a person. Ruan Chao, male, about 20 years old, mine worker. Check now. Give me an answer in 5 minutes." Then, Jean Kwong hung up the phone. From his tone, one could tell that his position in Hong Tai was like an emperor. His words were like military orders. He was very powerful and would never allow his subordinates to disobey him. Although Ruan Chao is young, he has been working as a coal miner for about 3 years. Su Yun smiled. He's not a newcomer. Chairman Su, you don't know this. Hong Tai Coal Mine is a legitimate coal mining group. It's impossible for us to recruit miners under the age of 18 to work in the mines. That's obviously illegal. Jean Kwong smiled. When it comes to matters of principle, Hong Tai Coal Mine is not like those small black mines. They don't even dare to hire a 14 or 15-year-old. They can get rid of him with 2,000 yuan a month. Lin Gu didn't seem to be interested in these coal bosses' outbursts. What kind of society are we living in now? If you don't violate some principles and rules, do you think you can get the money to fly into your pockets like it has wings? Boss Jean, you can fool elementary school students with your words, but we don't believe that you are pretending to be a good student. While they were chatting, Jean Kwong's phone rang. Before he could explain himself to Lin Gu, he picked up the phone. You found it? Okay, I got it. After hanging up the phone, Jean Kwong looked at Su Yun helplessly. I'm sorry, Chairman Su. Perhaps you are mistaken. There is no such person in Hong Tai. The Human Resources Department has already checked the human resources system. This computer program will not make a mistake. Su Yun smiled. If it was so easy to find out, I wouldn't have to trouble Boss Jean, right? Jean Kwong frowned. Why do you say that, President Su? Boss Jean, there are some things that I don't have to be too clear about. Nanjiang is a major coal mining province. Other than your Hong Tai, which has established its foundation, there are many small private coal mines. Everyone in the country knows this. We don't know how many small mines there are without a license, but I'm sure you know better than us. Su Yun, those small private coal mines that violate the rules and don't have any safety measures have had a hard time finding long-term supply and marketing partners. This is the result of the country's strict investigation. Therefore, most of the small bosses of Nanjiang's black mines hope to rely on Hong Tai. Even if they sell to Hong Tai at a lower price, they won't lose anything. Hong Tai also benefits. I'm sure Boss Jean won't refuse a win-win partnership. Jean Kwong looked at Su Yun and didn't say a word. This was already an open secret in the industry, but no one really mentioned it in front of Jean Kwong. After all, it was a taboo. According to the formula, the consumption and labor costs of Hong Tai to produce a ton of coal were 2 or even 3 times higher than that of a small coal mine. The coal mined by small coal mines was sold to Hong Tai at a price that wasn't higher than Hong Tai's production cost. They wouldn't lose anything. Although the profit was much less, they didn't have to take any risks. That was enough. Over time, this industry chain became an open secret. Everyone knew about it, and it was beneficial to both sides. Why not? Therefore, the small coal mine bosses who wanted to ride on Hong Tai's big ship were all lackeys in front of Jean Kwong. Nanjiang was a major coal mining province. 60% of the rich people relied on coal mining for a living. As the big boss of Hong Tai, Jean Kwong's position in Nanjiang was self-evident. It could be said that in Nanjiang, he was the second boss. Only the secretary of Nanjiang dared to say that he was the boss. President Su's words are true. Some partnerships are for a win-win purpose. Jean Kwong said, "It's not considered breaking the law. It's just a slight deviation from the rules." Hey, why is President Su interested in this? Boss Jean, don't misunderstand. I'm not an Interpol agent, nor a federal agent, and definitely not a Hua Xiar agent. I just want to find a person. Su Yun smiled slightly. Boss Jean should understand what I mean. Jean Kwong rubbed his temples with both thumbs. I won't hide it from Chairman Su. In Nanjiang, there are too many small mines that use Hongtai's name to recruit people. Some of them will indeed recruit underage people to the mines to reduce production costs. They will also reduce the cost of safety protection in order to reduce production costs. I admit this point. However, if Boss Su wants me to find such a person in the hands of so many small coal mine bosses, there is a certain degree of difficulty. If it wasn't difficult, I wouldn't be sitting here drinking with Boss Jean, right? Su Yun smiled slightly and raised his wine glass. Boss Jean, I'd like to propose a toast to you. We're all people of society. We all understand the meaning of the phrase, one doesn't get up early without benefits. Boss Jean wants to be friends with me because I can help you in some way, isn't that right? Jean Kwong laughed awkwardly. Ha ha ha, I see that President Su is young and promising. I just want to make friends, just make friends. Then, can Boss Jean guarantee that you won't ask me to do anything in the future? Su Yun said half jokingly and half seriously. Jean Kwong replied tactfully, we'll be friends in the future. Friends help each other. Who would have the nerve to refuse? Don't you think so, President Su? Don't worry. As long as the person you're looking for is in Nanjiang, as long as he's a coal miner, I'll definitely find him even if I have to search all the mines in Nanjiang. Boss Jean, this is your guarantee. I want to see him, dead or alive. Su Yun finished speaking and drank the wine glass in one gulp. Cheers first. Jean Kwong drank to his heart's content. However, he was a little worried. There were so many mines in Nanjiang. Finding this person was undoubtedly like finding a needle in a haystack. Moreover, it was normal for some small coal mines to have accidents. There were many cases where people died. Jean Kwong couldn't guarantee that those small bosses would tell him the truth, right? To be honest, the problem that Su Yun gave him was really difficult. However, Jean Kwong understood the meaning behind Su Yun's words. If he didn't settle this for him, he could forget about Su Yun helping him in Taiwan in the future. This sounded like a deal. President Su, I definitely won't let you down. Jean Kwong said, but you have to give me some time. I'll slowly investigate. Ha ha ha, this isn't something that can be settled in 5 minutes. I understand. Su Yun said, I think Boss Jean would also want to settle this as soon as possible, right? Jean Kwong nodded his head repeatedly. No matter what, he had managed to hitch a ride on the Three Lotus Association's boat. As long as he did his job well, he would be able to get on the Three Lotus Association's boat. The Taiyuan mine would be a piece of cake. Everyone toasted and drank merrily. It was Lin Suin's first time eating medicinal cuisine. She was really surprised because this medicinal cuisine was completely different from what she had imagined. She always thought that medicinal cuisine was a cuisine with a hint of Chinese medicine taste that was hard to swallow. She didn't expect the Ruan family's medicinal cuisine to not have any Chinese medicine taste at all. About an hour later, Qin Wan rushed back to Xinkai Hotel after attending a dinner in the station. Today's dinner was different from the past. It was related to whether Yi Fala could successfully serve his sentence outside of prison. Therefore, Qin Wan had to attend. After everything was over, Qin Wan got a definite answer. She then came back to tell Su Yun the good news. When she arrived at the hotel, she heard that Su Yun was drinking with Boss Jean. She didn't join them but went directly to the room upstairs. All right, President Su, I have something else. I don't know if I should say it. Boss Jean smiled and handed a note to Su Yun. This is what the stewardess called Fang Ya asked me to pass to Brother Lin. Ha ha ha, I know that Brother Lin has a prejudice against me. I'll pass it to you. Su-Yun took it and glanced at it. There was a sentence and a phone number. It seemed that the stewardess really fell in love with Lin Gu at first sight. Lin Gu blushed. Give it to me. I'll keep it for you. Su-Yun didn't pass the note to Lin Gu. He was afraid that he would lose it on impulse. Since Fang Ye was so generous, he might as well let her be more generous. As Su-Yun drank and chatted with Jean Kwang, he sent a message to the number on the note. Lin Ji's phone number is XXXX. He's shy when he meets a girl he likes. Therefore, I hope you can take the initiative. I wish you success. I'll help you. It was signed off by Su-Yun. Soon, Su-Yun received a reply from Fang Ye. Thank you, Brother Yun. Lin Gu didn't see Su-Yun's little actions at all. His mind was still in a mess, especially after Fatty Jean said that the stewardess left him her phone number. Lin Gu couldn't accept the fact that his peach blossom had suddenly bloomed after so many years of complaining that he didn't have any peach blossoms. Fortunately, no one mentioned it again. Lin Gu also calmed down a little. He sat quietly and waited for the dinner to end. Chapter 781. Su-Yun and the others also prepared to go back to their rooms to rest. Lin Suin's room was next to Su-Yun's. After Su-Yun opened the door, she didn't seem to want to go back to her room. Aren't you going to invite me in? I just came to the mainland, and I'm still not used to it. Of course, no problem. Su-Yun invited her warmly. You can come in for a drink and a chat, but if you want me to play LOL with you, then forget it. I'm not born to play LOL. No matter which team I go to, they all know that I'm the god of cheating. If it's LOL, I'll let Lin Gu accompany you. After saying that, Su-Yun walked into the room. However, what he didn't expect was that Qin Wan was in his room surfing the internet. Qin Wan didn't know what to do when the two suddenly walked in. She put down her computer and explained, I didn't know you had an appointment tonight. Otherwise, I wouldn't have waited for you in your room. Lin Suin felt that the relationship between the two was not ordinary when she got off the plane. Now, she was even more sure of her thoughts. She didn't want to stay. Since you still have things to do, then I'll go find a pigeon to play LOL with me. I wish you guys a happy night. Don't misunderstand. I'm just here to inform Su-Yun about this matter. It's not as complicated as you think. Qin Wan was stunned. She said with an awkward expression, Su-Yun, I think you should explain. Your little girlfriend might have misunderstood. You all misunderstood. Su-Yun felt a headache. Since you're here, let's get to know each other. I'll go make tea for you guys. No need. I'm just here to tell you something. Qin Wan said, Yi Fala can be released from prison tomorrow. Her sentence outside prison has been approved, but there's a condition. When the police need her cooperation, she must cooperate with the police at any time. Yonghe is dead. The police probably don't need her cooperation anymore, right? Su-Yun was in a good mood after hearing the news. What time will she be released tomorrow? I'll go pick her up. Qin Wan shrugged her shoulders. Lu Hong will go to work after 8 o'clock. He will sign the approval document and stamp it. Then you can leave with your men. I believe that Yefala hopes that it will be done as soon as possible. I think so too. Su-Yun nodded. All right, then I'll leave first. You have a good time with your guests. After Qin Wan finished speaking, she turned around and left. She didn't seem to like Miss Lin, who had come from afar. Perhaps it was because of Miss Lin's jealousy. Lin Suin didn't seem to be interested in Qin Weiner, the policewoman. She didn't answer and just sat on the sofa quietly. After Qin Wan left, Lin Suin asked, Who is Yi Fala? Why are you in prison? How should I put it? She's the real boss of this hotel. Su-Yun said, she was locked up because she did something wrong. Was it you who found a way to get her out? You're quite capable. Lin Suin was surprised. You're good at dealing with both the underworld and the underworld. I was the one who sent her in. Soo-yoon sighed helplessly. She was able to serve her sentence outside the prison because of her good performance. The contributions she made during her sentence were enough to let a small staff member who just entered the police station be directly promoted to the head of the public security department. Lin Soo-in stared at Soo-yoon with her eyes wide open. Then you're even more impressive. You sent her to prison, and she still gave you the hotel? Soo-yoon, your charm to women is greater than I thought. The ownership of this hotel is really a bit troublesome. If it wasn't because she was still guilty, she wouldn't be able to take it over. I would definitely return the hotel to her immediately. Soo-yoon said, and, can you not always smell like a vinegar jar? This really gives me a headache. I know. Lin Soo-in said, I came later. So many people around you who came first didn't get jealous of me. Of course, I don't have the right to be jealous. Forget it, I don't want to know more. There's no point in knowing more, right? You have a good rest. You still have to pick someone up tomorrow morning. I'm going to find a pigeon to fight in a. Soo-yoon shrugged and didn't ask her to stay. I'm just afraid that this kid doesn't have the mood to play games now, haha. Lin Soo-in didn't understand what Soo-yoon meant. When she walked to Lin Ji-e's door and heard him talking on the phone, she suddenly realized that Soo-yoon was right. This kid really didn't have the mood to play games now. When Lin Gu returned to his room and was about to wash up and sleep, he heard his phone ring. There were only a few people who knew his contact information. As long as it was a call, it was usually an important matter. Soo-yoon was in the room not far from his room, so it was definitely not something that happened here. But when he picked up his phone and realized that it was Shenzhen calling, he couldn't help but frown. Who would contact him in Shenzhen? Hello, who is this? Lin Gu picked up the phone and asked. The person on the other side of the phone took a deep breath and finally spoke. Is this Lin Gu? Hello, I'm Fongya. Buzz. Lin Ji-e's little brain buzzed. For a while, he really didn't know how to respond. He was stunned for a long time. He smacked his lips and squeezed out a few words. It's me. How do you know my phone number? I'm sorry for suddenly calling you. Fongya said, it was Brother Yun who sent your number to me. And I don't have any other intention. I just want to thank you. Thank me? Lin Gu was stunned. Fongya said, yes, I want to thank you for what happened on the plane today. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know what to do. I have flown for more than 200 times in the airline company, and it was the first time I encountered such a thing. I was really scared at that time. Fortunately, you were there. Lin Gu smiled and said, it's my duty. Since I encountered such a thing, I can't let the robbers be so arrogant. This is not a problem. You don't have to take it to heart. Really. But I still want to thank you. Otherwise, I will feel guilty. Fongya said, if you don't mind, I want to treat you to a midnight snack. Lin Gu made a sound and reacted after a long time. Aren't you flight attendants very busy? I don't want to take up your time because of your gratitude. You finally landed on the ground to rest. Your family definitely wants you to spend more time with them. Hey. You still have to rest well and prepare for the next flight. Time is tight. I don't want to disturb you. I've already had dinner with my parents. I told them what happened today. They said that I must thank you properly. Fongya insisted, and the company gave me a week off because of this matter. They let me have a good rest. So I don't want to miss the opportunity to thank you. Without waiting for Lin Gu to speak, Fongya continued, if you don't let me thank you, I will always feel guilty. Can you give me a chance? Of course, if you feel that I am disturbing you, then I can only say sorry. Lin Gu shook his head and said, no, there is nothing to disturb. Ugh. Where should we meet? So, you agree? Fongya's voice was excited. Thank you. You can go anywhere you want. I will treat you. Then let's just find a KFC. Lin Gu had never dated a girl before. How would he know where to choose? Ah. Fong Ye was a little surprised. Wouldn't it seem that I don't care too much? I want to find a place to thank you properly. Or, let's go to Mingdao for coffee? Or the new French restaurant on Jiangon Road. Lin Gu smiled. The places that Fong Ye mentioned were unscrupulous shops that would charge you 880,000 for a cup of coffee. He wouldn't be cheated. Let's just order something casual for supper. If it is those places, I won't go. Let's go to KFC. I will treat you to something. No, no, no. We agreed that I should thank you. How can I let you treat me? Fong Ye said, well, then let's go to KFC. Which store? You find a place near you. It is convenient for me to drive there. Lin Gu smiled. Fong Ye nodded. Well, I will send you the address. I will wait for you now. After hanging up the phone, Lin Gu was like bathing in the spring breeze. Fortunately, I didn't drink during dinner tonight. This is God's will. After all, it was his first date with a girl. It would be a lie if he said that he wasn't nervous. Lin Gu quickly changed his clothes and straightened his hair. Then, he opened the door proudly and prepared to leave. Lin Suin stood at the door and looked at Lin Gu with a smirk. Brother, where are you going? I have something to do. Lin Ji's explanation was too far-fetched. You don't understand. Lin Suin shook her head helplessly. If it were me, I would definitely choose a high-end Japanese restaurant where I can take a bath in the hot spring after supper. I wouldn't choose such a low-class place like KFC. Lin Ji's face turned red. Sister Suin, did you eavesdrop on my phone call? Cough cough. Don't say it in such a bad way. I wasn't eavesdropping. I wanted to play a few rounds of LOL with you. Who knew that you would call again, so I didn't knock on the door to disturb you. Your voice was so loud and I was just at the door. I couldn't possibly cover my ears just because I didn't want to eavesdrop on your call, right? Lin Suin said, Don't worry. You're already an adult. Why are you embarrassed? I'm very supportive of you going on a date. Even if you bring a girl to a room, I'm willing to pay for you. Lin Gu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Sister, don't tease me. I just can't refuse. Don't hurt her feelings. I don't have other thoughts. I hope you have other thoughts. Lin Suin stuck out her tongue. I wish you a smooth journey. It's best if you don't come back at night. After that, Lin Suin ran back to her room. Lin Gu sighed and shook his head. He knocked on Su Yun's door. Brother, the car keys are in your room. I'll go out for a while. Su Yun didn't say anything and directly put the keys in Lin Ji's hand. I've already prepared them for you. I wish you success. Lin Ji's head was full of black lines. You also eavesdropped? I didn't eavesdrop on your door like Lin Suin, but it's hard for me not to hear your conversation in the corridor. Su Yun pointed at his ears. Hee, you can't expect me to cover my ears, right? How would I know when you would say some little secrets that you don't want me to hear? Lin Gu stuffed the car keys of the Kian into his pocket and said angrily, You only know how to follow me. I'm just being kind. Su Yun said, However, I definitely support Lin Suin's idea from some points of view. Tonight, you must take down the city. You can't embarrass us men. It's best if you don't come back tonight. If you come back, I'll look down on you. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.